Hello, everyone.
Hello. I think
Hello,
we're official.
ladies.
We
I think
done
we
good.
are. The little preview thing is playing. So I'm bad at remembering everybody's names. We have a Sherry who's trying to
Yep.
enter. She's been on with us before, right?
Yes. Multiple
Perfect.
times.
Okay, that's what I thought. It looked normal, but
That would be really hard. I don't envy your job there.
this is why I have help from you guys. Okay, let me mute over here to make sure that we're
Hi, Sherry.
all right. I'm trying to make sure that I can hear myself over here.
I can
Okay.
hear you over
It
here.
looks like everybody can hear us on the interwebs.
Oh yeah, that used to be a thing, huh? Somehow this is what, episode 11? How have we done this 11 times?
Well, it's not like we knew what we were doing for the first good
We
chunk of it.
still don't really know what we're doing. I mean, we
It's
know how to do
true.
this part. Well, you know how to do this part. Somebody
I know
knows
how
how
to
to do this
turn it
part.
live. I can do that part
We just wing it.
a little easier.
That's what
But,
it's all about. We're just, measure twice and mess this part up every time.
you know, speaking of measuring twice, I brought an entire project to do and my sewing machine. I'm at my parents' place in Wisconsin right now. And it needed it's a bag project. And I don't have a very good track record of cutting properly on on this thing. So I decided I'm not gonna do that because I didn't have time to cut and I didn't even think I had my Biani soft and sable until like an hour before my kid needed to go to bed. And I was like, I'm just gonna work. I'm finishing the project that shall never be finished for my sister. And we'll get this done
That's never
maybe.
going to be done.
I know. We originally thought by Easter.
I mean,
Obviously,
next
we
year by
didn't make that
Easter,
happen.
it'll be done.
Well, she is a teacher, so she is on summer break and she's been keeping up with me. So I don't have much left. I have like this left and then a little bit more. Are you saying hi, Angela?
Hi.
Angela's saying hi.
Hi.
She's off now. But
Hi.
my parents like to have one grandchildren by themselves a week each summer. And it's great because they get one-on-one time and which
Aw,
you
can I get a
rarely get.
turn?
I know, right? Hi, Liz. Hi, Brenda. We got some people over on YouTube watching,
Nice.
but
Come to the dark side, guys.
it's kind of funny because it is dark on Zoom. But what were you guys up to this week?
Oh my gosh. So much, but not enough somehow every week.
Well,
I think we
she,
have to talk to Gwendolyn first because
yes,
she went on retreat. And so we got to hear all
Yes.
about it.
Oh my gosh, but
it
I
was
got
your
better
first
news.
retreat, right?
It was my first retreat, but I have better news, guys. Yesterday, my daughter got married.
That's exciting.
Yep, they went down to the magistrate and yep, we did it.
Made
So
it official.
made it
That's exciting.
official.
I'm so
So
proud of you for not blurting that. So, what everybody doesn't know is we were trying so hard to not talk before
yes,
this. We were trying really, really, really hard because we ended up spelling like all our secrets before we even get to the part
right.
where it's recorded. And then what fun is that? So, I mean, that's a big drop.
I
Whoa.
know, right?
Speaking
So
of, I forgot the recording part, but go on.
Oh, go ahead and say it again and again and
Yes,
my
again.
daughter got married yesterday.
that's
Woohoo!
exciting.
That's
Congratulations.
awesome. That's been a long
So
time coming.
it has been. And so it was exciting. I came back from retreat and she goes, Mom, I'm gonna do it Thursday. And I'm like, well, and because we stopped, I took my mom with me and we stopped and then we did like a little shop pop thing, coming back. So we took our time, right? So we didn't get back until Tuesday, even though retreat ended on Sunday. And well, was it Tuesday or Monday? No, it was Monday. We got back Monday. And but that's okay. So Tuesday she came over and stuff and she said, Mom, we're going to get married on Thursday. And I went, oh, okay. Well, what are you going to wear? And she's like, I don't know. And I said, well, let's make you a dress. So
Oh,
I had pretty much one day, Wednesday, to make her a dress, because by the time she told me on Tuesday when she came over, it was already pretty late. And
Oh
and
my
so
gosh.
I got out all the stuff and I said, what do you want? She said, well, you got to remember she's 7 months pregnant. And
Yeah.
so she wanted a sundress with the smocking up top. So I bought the cheater fabric and she wanted straps on it and it's super cute. I'll pull up a picture in a little bit and show y'all.
Oh,
But
so
it turned out
exciting.
it turned out really good. She wanted the front to be like, so it was a little bit shorter in the front and it kind of tapered to the back. So it was a little bit longer in the back, but she didn't want it touching the ground. And it looked real good on her. When you're 6, 7, she's 7 months pregnant. If I said 6, um, when you're 7 months pregnant, you feel big.
Yeah.
You want it to
Yeah.
be comfortable. You want it to be airy. You don't want anything tight fitting and whatever and stuff. And so she was really excited about it. And so it was just family. It was just his parents and us, and then his sister, and then my mom was in town, so my mom went. But the magistrate, he was hilarious. He was so funny. And then he goes, we like kids here. And he gave Theron a little lollipop. And so we were teaching Theron to lick a lollipop in the magistrate office.
Oh my gosh.
So it was
That's
cute. It was
cute.
small.
that's
They'll do
special.
they'll do something next year to kind of celebrate with friends and whatever. But this was just you know, make it all official.
Well,
Do
that's
all
exciting.
That's awesome.
So
Wow.
that
very
And
exciting.
your retreat must have
Yeah.
been great, but that definitely,
okay. So
you one-upped yourself there.
so much fun. Oh my gosh, you guys didn't express to me how much fun retreat is. It's like a week-long girls sleepover.
Pretty
To
much,
be
yeah.
fair, my retreats so far have either been on a cruise ship or just with Steph. So
Yeah.
I barely count.
Well,
We
I
we
was
did have a
up.
very good time though with our
I was
Oh
own.
up
yeah,
late
yeah.
a lot. Did you guys stay up late a lot on the cruise?
Oh well, we
Um,
tried to.
Yeah, we tried. It didn't always work.
We tried to, but then I was being like, I would just get up at the crack of dawn because that's just,
Well,
I
we
don't know
would
how to do it any other
also
way.
we would like go ahead an hour like every other day too. So it's like, but there were
That was
several
hard.
nights of like getting sandwiches at like midnight
Yeah. Well,
Sandwiches.
I
and a
didn't
Oh,
dessert.
for like 5 days. I was just, excited and doing my thing, cutting out all my coffins.
I'm
And
working on coffins right now.
whew, that's a lot. I cut out 200
Oh
and
my gosh.
fussy cut 200. Oh my gosh, took
Oh
forever.
my gosh, girl.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's all good. I had a good time doing it and it's fun. And I'm doing some extra, of course, for your my swap, but
Yes,
um
you get a little glimpse. Ooh, a little glimpse. You don't actually get to see what's in there, but it's all Halloween. So
and then I went
ready.
into like the Lancaster, which is mostly Amish
Yeah.
Mhm.
places and stuff. There she is, Candace and we went in for the day and we spent the day with my mom in Lancaster. So that was really fun. We did some shop
Oh,
hopping and
okay.
got to see the Amish quilt shops and
Ooh.
stuff, and picked up some goodies and some fabric. Spent way too much on fabric, but they had
No.
some
No.
different. They had some
It's
different.
not a shop hop if you don't.
I know. My husband goes, "Wait, I thought this was all paid for," and I go, "Yeah, no."
Well, the
Not to
retreat
spend any money.
was,
Yeah, he was
it's
fine.
like getting the extra snacks on the flight. Like the
Exactly.
peanuts were covered, but not the cheese plate. You just had to get a lot of cheese plate.
Oh goodness.
But it was really cool. I mean, I've never been up to Pennsylvania. I've never been up that far up the East Coast before. So,
I didn't know it was that far away.
yeah.
You really
And
traveled.
yeah. And well,
It
Candace
takes you
drove
cold
in a
home that
day.
way.
She like went 12 hours and she drove up there, one day, and one day back. But since I had my mom and stuff, I was like, nah, we'll stop and get a hotel. We stayed at a really nice hotel in Virginia. We
Mhm.
didn't know when my husband booked it, but it was like in a golf community. And so
Nice.
it was one of those like fancy resorts. It was like a resort. It wasn't
Oh,
like
nice.
it was a resort. I had no idea. And it was only $100 for the night. I couldn't
Really?
believe it. Yeah.
Was it a
And
last minute booking? Because
it
sometimes you get like
was.
the best deals. Yeah.
Yeah. And well, we've been diamond with Hilton since like, I don't know, since like 2016, 17. And this year is the first year we are not diamond with Hilton. We are gold because
Ooh.
last year we missed the deadline. And so we got downgraded a level, but that's fine.
Oh no.
Gold is still fine. But it was like um at this hotel, if you're gold or diamond, they give you like this really fancy bag and you get extra perks. And we got the full buffet breakfast, and it was real
Oh,
nice.
yum. I'm
Yeah.
hungry. Why am I always hungry when we log on?
You're always hungry.
Because there was
Ah,
talk of food. That's why.
And
because this used
then
to be a theater room.
then when we were up at the retreat, I gotta tell you, um that was fun. It was fun just being in a room or in a building with lots of other, well, it was all ladies. So when I say all
Mhm.
ladies, it's not that I'm excluding men, it's just there was no men, there and stuff, but all the ladies that have the same interests as me. And you get to see how they work. You get to see what machines they're doing, what projects they're doing, what, how they organize their stuff, all the things. And it's so cool. I just soaked it all in. It was awesome. And then the games were hilarious.
I've
Oh,
They
never
you
were
played
played
retreat
games.
games. I've
Yes.
never done that.
Oh my gosh. So they played this one game that it was my favorite game. And I will pull out the fabric. So they play this one game. I think it's called Right, Left, Center, I think is what it's called. If it's called something else.
Oh, I played that at a guild meeting
So you
before.
bring your fat quarters to the table with you, and ideally you bring 12. Okay. And then you roll dice. And if you roll, the dice has dots on them, or it has L, R, and C. And so you roll these three dice. And if you get right, you get to steal a fat quarter from your right and replace it with one of yours. If you roll left, you get to steal something on the person from your left and replace it. And if you roll center, you do the same thing for the person straight across from you. But we did change the rules and we said, okay, instead of just the person straight across from you, you can do anybody on the table. Like after we had played it once, we realized that that would be a better way, and that worked a lot better. But what was hilarious about it is we had a like a wild card fabric, and it was considered the quote ugly fabric. And if
The white
you got
elephant fabric.
yes, so if you would try to get the wild card fabric or the ugly fabric, and if you got it and you had it at the end of the game, you won a prize. And so it was funny because the first time we had played, and I was rolling dot dot dot. So the first roll dot dot dot, nothing. I got nothing. The second, and you play five. It was 5 rounds. Okay, so you go around the table 5 times. The second round, dot dot dot, nothing. Third round, dot dot dot, nothing. I didn't get to trade. Fourth round, dot dot dot, I got nothing. The 4 full rounds and I could not trade. People
Oh
could
my
trade
gosh.
with me as they were doing, but nothing. So one of the women that was, in charge of that event and very involved and stuff, she said, okay, she said on this fifth round, if you roll dots, you get to re-roll, and whatever you get, you can pick from anybody. And
That's
so
funny.
I wound up being able to re-roll when I rolled dots, and I was able to pick from anyone. And it was so funny. It was just funny though, because my husband is the absolute worst roller. He plays dice games with his buddies, and he will roll and he'll come home and he'll be like, yeah, I lost it all. I rolled so bad. I rolled so bad. And this has been 30 years of this. So we will literally go seek out dice to replace his dice to try to, so he can roll
Help him.
better. Right.
Yeah.
Well, before I left, he gave me a kiss, and I swear to you, he transferred his bad
His bad
luck to
luck.
me, right? Because I'm usually a great roller. I couldn't believe it. So I wound up being able to get the ugly fabric that round. And then when we played the next time, Candace and I had been out in Lancaster, and the ladies, they were like, find ugly fabric, find the funnest, weirdest, ugliest fabric you can find. So we were like digging through the bins and the sale bins and stuff, trying to find the wackiest, weirdest fabric ever. And we found a crazy ugly fabric. Now, we found a couple of them. And so this one, it was tarantulas. And it was like nobody wanted the tarantulas. So it was going around. But at the end, the gal that got it, I went to her and I said, do you want those tarantulas? She goes, no. And I said, I'll take them and I'll cut them up for the swap I'm doing. So Chantel, I'm going to put them in the coffin swap.
That's perfect.
They're the perfect thing.
I know, right?
They're
So
perfect for that.
Carrie's not going to know they're coming, but she's going to be excited when
They're
she
not candy corn. That's all you.
No.
All you have to do is send a note. It's not candy corn.
It's not candy corn.
That's funny.
So it was great. It was really a good time. I can't wait to do it again. We should schedule something. We should.
Oh, that would be fun.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to.
Like
There's
there is
some things in my life that need to get figured out in the next couple of months, but then I can figure something out for
She's
sure.
gonna come hang out at my house for a night, so that's as good as we're getting right now.
Yes,
So
that may be up in the air. So my daughter's kindergarten boyfriend's parents are visiting their parents in Champaign, like right now. And so Angela's up here until Thursday. So there may be some finagling of
that's okay. Actually, I realized that I have a band concert that Friday.
Oh,
I've started
well,
band season for the summer, and so I got invited for a paid gig to Horns nearby in this band or whatever. And so I mean,
maybe
it's hard to
Saturday
say no
will work
to
out better then.
Yeah,
We'll
clearly.
talk later. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
But yeah.
John makes
I've-
meat on Saturday because, he is just, he does that
I-
now.
I sent Chantel a meme that once you hit like your mid to late 30s, you have to, and you're a man, you have to either get really into World War II history or grilling various meats. And she laughed and goes, John has picked meats. And I told Adam that he needs to pick meats because his parents got us a grill. And I was like,
Yeah,
Adam,
John
this
has
is-
chosen
this is your
meat
sign. You have
every
to get into the
single
meats.
week. He like goes to Sam's or Costco or wherever and buys, I don't know how much money worth of meat. You know how many ribs I've eaten this year compared to other years? I've eaten more ribs in the last 3 months than I've had in my entire life.
He's got his thing, and it's
He
okay.
is really, really midlifing so hard.
So
But
it's about
not
the barbecue,
in like
it's
a
about the
bad
grill.
thing. Like
And
that's
well,
a
it's-
very
so
good
it's-
hobby.
It's a pellet grill. He was very concerned about the Wi-Fi not working because he can run his grill through Wi-Fi.
That's
That's
I'm
such
not
a
even
first
kidding.
world problem.
Oh my God, right?
Oh,
But
that's
our
hilarious.
pool tomorrow is officially like open. We can use it when we want. We don't have grass, nearby, but our concrete is done. Everything's basically done. So this project that should have not taken so long, but it was raining so bad for so long this spring that it didn't get done. And now we officially have a swimming pool.
So is grass install part of the contract, or do we need to go to like Home and Garden Center?
So seating is, sod is like, 70 cents a square foot. So some of it might end up getting some sod depending, because that would be nice. But I'm also just not fussy enough about that. Like, I'm going to have to weigh how much I want it to look done versus what my actual budget is. And I'm not sure what these realities are yet.
Is it like 90 degrees constantly by you right now or no?
Yeah,
Now it's
Yeah,
not a
it's
good time
like
to grow grass.
95.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hot.
Now it's not a good time.
No. I'm kind of thinking that we'll just do fall and we'll have them put that like netting stuff on our grass area, the area where
Yeah.
the grass should go. It looks like a dirt bike path back there
Like
currently.
I don't know where you're at, but like at my house, there's only one day of rain coming
We're
in
hoping
the
for a
next
day of
week.
rain,
Yeah. It's just
maybe.
one. Because you'd have to water.
Well,
Oh
we
my
got
gosh,
all
so
our
much.
water, apparently. We got all our water in May when they were supposed to be finishing the pool. On my Mother's Day, timeline for the pool ended up being Father's Day. But again, first world problems, like, woo, big deal. But still very, very, very exciting.
But no,
And
you can seed. I've been doing
I
videos
know
for
nothing
Garden
about
Center.
it. I am
So
completely socially inept when it comes to plants. I
I
don't
like have
understand them and their needs and their loves.
I have the academic knowledge for growing grass. I don't have the practical knowledge for growing grass. If
I
that's
understand that. That was me in chemistry. Like all the paperwork stuff of doing chemistry I was great at, but I broke every single thing in the actual lab.
that's funny.
Yep. Oh, and my lab partner was super, was Laura.
Uh-oh. I have a
And
special guest.
The only thing
ooh,
that I remember
What's
about
up?
chemistry was the smell
Aw.
of rotten eggs.
oh
Hey,
yeah.
Are we tired?
Hi.
You want to go leave with Grandma?
She should be tired.
How about your sister?
Oh,
Just gonna sit here.
she's not our peace lily.
Can I give you videos and you can sit on the couch?
Sounds like a good life
Okay.
choice. I want
Sounds
videos
good.
on the couch.
That
I
sounds
have
like a
been
great plan.
trying to catch up on Bridgerton, but I can't because there wasn't any internet, which means we didn't have TV for like 3 days.
I have done that more than one. We didn't have internet the day the Bridgerton came out, and my husband was like, "No."
I love that it was your husband that was like, no.
Well,
My husband was too concerned about the internet being out because of his meat.
that's funny.
That wasn't even cooking. It was future meats.
Future meat. Isn't this cute, by the way? Oh, I have to show you. So
Aw.
Okay.
on our
Here,
way,
Yeah, what do you?
oh,
real
this is
quick.
her little bee. It's very cute.
Oh, this is cute.
Oh, is this the dress? You have your phone out?
Yeah. I'm gonna show
Let's
you
see
guys
the
real quick.
dress.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Oh,
it
that turned out really
great.
cute. That's a great use of that smocking fabric.
That's the way it should be used.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally
so she
adorable.
was you can't tell too much from that picture that it's tapered at the bottom, but the front is about 7-8 inches higher than the back. And I'll tell you what, that is rayon. Whew, it has been a hot minute since I have stitched on rayon. And lordy, all I'm saying is patience, right? That stuff is so soft and silky. You would have swore it was silk. I mean, whew, it was
It
some
does
work.
move quite a bit.
Yeah, it was some work. But we got it done and it looks great. And I French seamed
Seams.
all the seams so it won't unravel for her, which took extra time, of course, to
It's
do
not
that.
as hard as it sounds, though.
No, but
But sizing with a French seam is more difficult, right?
yeah. Yeah. The thing is I hadn't originally planned to do the French seam, so I had already sewn the seam and then decided to do the French seam. So that's
Oh,
what made it hard.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So, because it was an afterthought, but it's all good. It was fine. I got it done in 2 days. So, and she was happy. And now you know, she's got this cute little dress that she can wear the rest of her pregnancy, all this hot summer, you know?
There you go. That will be helpful.
Well, a dress like that you can wear afterwards too. I
Yeah.
mean, I'd be wearing that. I'm
Oh, yeah.
still wearing my nursing bras. Do they fit? No. Am I nursing? No. Do I care? No. No.
It'll be easy for me to take that in if she wants to keep it afterwards.
For sure.
I put some darts around the smocking and stuff just because the way it was laying, since I had to make it so big around her belly, the top was really loose. And, you know, I didn't want to angle it so it would get wonky with the smocking. So to keep them in, I put some darts up there, but I think they'll still be fine, even if I, you know, take it in after she has the baby. So
Yeah, that'll be great.
So cute.
I can't wait to show Stephanie 2.0. I hope she
I
I
know,
loves
she'll be
it.
know. Where
excited.
is that woman? She wasn't here
Uh,
last week either.
She, I think, is heading to her parents right now too.
Ooh.
So that's another state. But so
I
as
am working on my hexie, or not my hexies, my coffins.
Coffin hexie.
Coffins.
that's very cute.
They are a hexie, technically.
I know, that's what I was thinking. So I have
Six-sided, 6 feet down.
I have some purchases to show you guys.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
they're very cheap, but I'm excited about them. So
Doesn't
our way
matter. We
up-
love shopping vicariously through people.
I know, right? So our drive up to get here, we drive up through Dubuque, Iowa, and there's a little place there called Shaggy's Indoor Flea Market that almost always has vintage marbles that Angela loves. So we always go stop there. And I've kind of gotten the idea that I want to finally like style the wall behind the long arms so that way when we're on the chat, there's like interesting things behind
Yay.
me and it feels more personalized and all of that. And
It is the
so
emptiest wall.
it is a very large white empty wall. And just kind of keeping an eye out for like sewing related things. And this is like amazing. I got this for $5. It is cross stitch
That is awesome.
and it is huge. Like you can see how big it is. Somebody
Yeah,
like
That's
cross
cross
stitched.
stitched?
Yeah, Singer
Wow.
and the dress. It
Oh
is
my
absolutely gorgeous. And it was like they had like just got it in. And I was like, how much is this?
Even
It's
the
not
mat,
priced.
it's even matted and
It's
everything.
matted
Like,
for everything.
For $5?
And she's like, how about $5? And I was like,
Wow.
yep.
I think I
I'll
could
take
do
that.
that. Yeah.
Is pink your jam stuff?
It is not my color at all, but I was not
My
going to turn
color.
that down.
I love
Pink's
pink.
my color.
I know
Teal's
maybe
her
you
color.
or if you come to my
Yeah.
house and that's missing, I will know where it is.
Oh, I
And-
love those.
I know. So I used to have one of these that I found and
Me
then like
too.
donated somewhere. So I think this would be a fun little display piece too. So, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
was also how much? $3.75. So
Wow.
Oh,
I got two really cute things for under $10. So that would be fun. And hi,
And-
Kathy. I know, right? So
Are
that
you
was
gonna
my
put like a
my fun little
shelf
thing.
up back there?
So I was sending Chantel stuff that I found because I have a fair amount of antique sewing machines. It's an embarrassing
you
amount.
definitely need shelves up there. Although
Yeah.
my preference would be towards like floating shelves, even
Well,
though
and that's
you're
what I
really
sent
gonna.
you.
Well,
Did
I
you see
saw
the
the
link?
shelves, yes, but they have brackets below them.
Which I
Right?
thought was cute. Like
They are
I've
cute,
added
but I'm
in more
afraid that
gold.
it'll interfere visually with how cool all the machines are.
Well,
Especially
'cause-
considering how many do you think you have? This is not an intervention, so it's a safe place to share.
You and me both, Stephanie. You and me both.
I think it's more than a dozen.
Maybe you don't have room for brackets.
I didn't think I was gonna put all of them up. That was not the goal. Like
That's
I thought I
fair.
would maybe put the coolest ones up.
Some of them.
Yes. Because it got to the point. So when
They're
we had the
cute
brick,
though. I will give you that. The ones that you found, because a bracket's gonna make it a lot stronger too.
well, when we had the brick and mortar shop, there was this cute like little window ledge that went all around it.
I
And
remember.
so I put machines in there, and I
You had
had,
a green machine in the front.
yeah, I have many, many machines, but I have a lot. And so I would put them in there, and it got to the point people would just like show up with these things where I would, like, I had two treadles, I had a bunch of other like antique black ones, and I was like, I am now only collecting ones that are cool colors because I have all the cool antique things that one could possibly want and that are black. And so I have multiple pink ones,
Except for
multiple
a
teal
featherweight.
ones. I don't have that. I would love that.
So
Um,
do you like the singer or do you like the other brands? Like what do you
I
like?
have, I like cool colors, is what I
Okay,
like.
so you like
So the more the
Morris and
mid-century,
And
Yeah.
Atlas.
I don't even
yeah,
know. I have a
the
lot of
white and
singers.
the Atlas, yeah.
Yeah.
I
But,
have
and
a
I have two that were my grandmother's, one of which is like a hunter green. So those have to go up. But yeah, it's like,
I have a
it's,
pink
it's so much
Morris.
fun.
I have a
Ooh,
blue Morris.
I've
And
seen those, and the pink one like is
they're
gonna
hard
end up
to find.
showing up somewhere in my house at some point because
You're gonna come here and get it.
I might.
So if we know where our
Ooh,
pink sewing decor is, Chantel stole it.
yeah.
She knows
I
where I
mean, that's
live.
fair. I'm
But
gonna
yeah,
figure it out. I'm going to know as soon as I have to send you some. You're gonna have to get a PO box. So I don't know
that's
where you
funny.
actually live.
But yeah, I've got those that I want to go up, and then I have like the first time like Quilt Addicts Anonymous patterns were in magazines. I have several of those that are framed. I have a canvas that one of my employees painted for me that has Quilt Addicts Anonymous that has us like a singer, old fashioned singer on it.
Oh, that's cool.
And I've got some, you know, like a woven weave with like Allison Glass um batiks that has never been finished. That would be really cool to like hang up and put on there. And something I did in a collaboration with Leah Day. That's not huge. It's like less than 12 inches square. But I would
Oh,
love
I
to get
love
like
Leah
stuff like
Day.
that on there because that would be, I don't know, just make it more
I know who
personalized.
Leah Day is.
There you
Wow.
go.
Her the one that she did she did it a while back, but it was like the woman that was I think
Oh
giving
yeah.
birth, that one. Oh, I
Hmm.
loved that series that she did when she created those patterns. Those were so beautiful.
She's a
And
true
then,
artist.
yes, and then she wrote the children's books and stuff. I loved listening to her read. I can't tell you how many times I played that for Theron when he was a baby, listening to her read the children's books that she was working on.
Yeah. She's
At
very
least
nice.
I'm pretty sure she wrote them.
Kathy on YouTube says she has a pink and brown brother 651
Ooh.
Charger.
Ooh.
This sounds fun. But I have antique pinking shears that still have the box. I have a ton of antique irons.
I have
Um,
one antique iron that was my husband's grandmother's,
I don't
yeah.
have any antique
but
iron. The one thing I haven't found yet.
I would
And
love one that works, a big, heavy, flat one.
I also discovered that there is a toy size sewing machine that's an American Girl brand that was made in Illinois. And
I know it's
I
on
was
my
like,
wish
well,
list on
I need
eBay. It
that
just sits
now.
there. I know.
I
There we
found the
go. How
green
long
one.
did it take us?
Not very long.
Not
How long was it?
not 33
33 minutes.
minutes.
Yes,
To go
Uh,
into American Girl doll.
yeah.
I know, right? Well, technically it's not American Girl, but it
No,
like way
but
predates it.
yeah, the
They
it
had it
happened.
on display at our local museum, and I sent Chantel a thing thinking I discovered something cool. She's like, "Oh yeah, I know about those." I was like,
Yes, I've
"Oh,
been
of course
following.
you
Oh,
do."
I've been wondering. Yeah, I know. Well, my eBay is, just filled with American Girl stuff. I can't help
Yeah. Oh,
it.
I
And
know.
sewing stuff. They go hand in hand, even though they don't go hand in hand.
They
They're
do.
adjacent for me.
There are so many like moms and grandmas who like made their entire wardrobe for that. I think it goes hand in hand. And girls should learn to sew with it.
There you
But
go. Did anybody finish any projects then? What did you actually finish when you were there?
Did
Or were
you?
you
You're funny.
did you?
You are funny.
Oh, I'm funny.
No, I finished
So
nothing.
nothing, huh?
I finished nothing. I mean, I work.
I figured you'd be that type.
Well, it was my first one. I was getting my feet wet. It's okay. Next year, right?
I had
And
a
I'm working
quilt.
on my fussy cut ones. Can you guys see them? Aren't they so pretty?
oh, those are
That's
pretty.
cute.
They're
We
unicorns.
we played. I mean, there was like other things because we did the shop hop, and then we played several games. We played another game that was a panel swap game, and it was to
Ooh.
like White Elephant. And so that was hilarious. That was fun.
Why did I
watch-
buy this fabric?
the actually some of the panels were like super popular panels, and like everybody wanted them. So you had like, well, there was I think 17 people playing. So you had half of the people going for the same panel. I can't think of the name of it, but it's that one. It's that really big flower, and it's teal.
Is it the one that people use for like whole cloth quilting?
I think so.
The medallion
so.
one?
Yeah, it's like really, really big. And it's gorgeous. Candace turned off her thing. Or she might know the name of it. But and they were all going after it. So it was just so funny. It was so funny just to watch grown women, try to get the
Get so
panel
excited about it.
that you could go
Oh.
on Etsy and buy for like $15. You know what I'm saying? It was just-
But we can get it now, and winning
Yeah.
the game comes with rights. Okay.
it's so
That's funny.
cutthroat, for the panel. It was fun. It was a good time. And then the food, oh my gosh, so much food.
Did you guys make your own meals?
So yeah, so every night there was people that I guess signed up ahead of time and planned it ahead of time for meals. And then everybody else just kind of brought the extra stuff, for lunch and breakfasts and whatever. So like one night we had chicken and dumplings, and then one night we had turkey dinner, and so it
Turkey
was
dinner.
yeah, like
We-
Thanksgiving
Oh, that's my
turkey
The-
meal.
favorite.
The YouTube comments know what it is. It's Dream Big. It's a Hoffman print.
Ah,
So
Mm.
Tina
Thank you,
or
YouTube.
TNA Tampa, she is the one who knows that.
hmm.
So there was that, and then I was trying to think. There was one night they brought a karaoke machine,
Oh,
and so
Lord.
we were all there doing karaoke. So I mean, even though there was a lot of sewing going on, and there was some beautiful quilts that were completed, not by this lady, okay, but by other
You're
more
gonna finish your quilt. You are.
I will. And I'm so close. I'm so close to having mine done. But I was really working on the coffin hexies. That was kind of like my biggest focus. I told my husband when I left, I said, if I get all of my coffin hexies cut out by the time I leave, success. That was success for me. But some of the more experienced ladies, man, they were knocking out like 5 and 6 quilts, and it was like a quilt a day, sometimes even more. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it, but it was
So-
it was very inspiring to watch, and I was in awe.
Were they like, because like when I was there with Chantel, I had 2 projects that all the blocks were done and they just needed to be put together. And so I
Some.
did do a quilt a day, but it was because we had a big king size bed that no one needed to use. Also,
I
we have
finished so many quilts, but that was
Rose
because they were
Garland
all in various stages
from Australia
too.
is on.
Well, some of
Ooh.
the ladies had them that were like that, but I'll tell you what, some of them, it was like all they had was their parts cut out, and they were going, and it was just driving, the whole time, just sewing. And I mean, really getting good stuff done. But of course I was, I'm slow anyway with sewing, but I'm just not as fast. And then it's so interesting to see what's going on. I always wanted to be watching, and it's hard to do what's here and also watch what's out there, going on in the room at the same time, which made me even slower. So
It's definitely social
seriously,
hour.
yeah. So seriously, I was very excited that I got all my coffin hexes complete and stuff. So
That's
will
a
tell
big
you-
accomplishment, particularly if you're not an English paper piecer normally and
Right.
you're not used to like cranking them out. Like I started mine tonight and I'm halfway through them all. Although
you
I have
only
80 to
started
do.
tonight?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I started cutting them tonight. But then again, this is like
She's
kind of my
fast.
bread and butter at this point. So, I mean, I'm not putting them together. I'm just making them.
You should have seen how quickly she put together hexes on the cruise. It was just boom, boom, boom. It was just like she's got a plan and it works. Have I ever told you the story about how I got my house because I went to retreat?
No.
Oh,
Is that how you met Mary?
That's how I met Mary. So
Oh my gosh.
this was in 2010, and it was when the Obama house buying tax credit for new first time homeowners was going on, and it was about to run out. And so we were we had been searching forever, and we were poor journalists, so we couldn't really afford anything. And it was always not in a great area, or it needed tons of work, or it just was teeny tiny. And because our budget was like $100,000 max for what we could afford with the payment at the time. And so we're looking around, and it was a huge challenge. And I think we looked at 100 houses, and I had this BlackBerry, which was the communication device at the time that I would get alerts on.
A BlackBerry, not as in a bush that you would
I
have
know.
these days, but as
No,
in
yeah.
an actual mobile device.
As the actual mobile device. And I would get the alert of one that was in our price range because they would go fast, because there are a lot of people who were trying to get a house for $100,000 with this first time home buyer's credit. And I would send my husband out to go look at this home. And my neighbor was the house next to me is about to go up for sale. They had to move mom into a senior living facility, and they're getting ready to sell the house. And I was like, okay, well, let's check it out. So we drove by it that night. And then Mary got us in contact with the adult kids that were handling everything. And we got it off market, and they got to sell it really quickly without having to deal with anything. We were able to actually get something that was a little better than anything we had been looking for in that budget, and still keep where we wanted to be. And Mary chose her neighbor for the next probably
Million
life.
years.
I don't think we're ever moving now. There was a while where we thought we were going to, but now I think we're gonna do a love it instead of a list it, and
Love
do
it.
an addition in a few years. But no, this
I
is
like
an
that
actual
show.
conversation that my husband and I had. Are we gonna love it or list it? And it was on a Saturday night, date night, where we were
Date
just
night.
hanging out night in the house. And he's like, okay, we're gonna love it. And I'm like, for real? You really mean this? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, I'm painting the front door blue then right now.
Now, in the
Right
middle of
now.
the night.
Until 3 a.m. And he's like, are you gonna regret this the next day? I'm like, no, I've been thinking about this for years.
Oh
He's
wow.
like, okay. But anyway,
So now the house has a blue door and it's yours
it
forever.
does. I mean, I still need to do more work to it because I used chalk paint, and I
And you
ran
did it
out.
in the middle of the night.
I did, and then I ran out of it midway through. This is right before we left on our trip, by the way, Chantel. So
I
the
remember
bottom,
that.
the bottom I don't know, 1.5 feet of the door on the inside has no paint, and I need to also go around the outside, but it's too hot to do it right now. And
Oh yeah. It's too
and then
hot to do just about anything. Can
Hey,
Lily see
Lily.
me? Hi, Lily.
Hi.
Hi.
Lily was very
Lily's my
unhappy
girl.
earlier in the evening, and her and mom
Wow,
both
Lily.
ended up falling asleep in bed.
How long are you up there for, Stephanie?
I'm just going home tomorrow. I went to
Oh.
kind of trade the children out. So
I'm going home with Mom tomorrow.
You-
It's like
Oh,
they
yeah.
to wake us tired.
Yeah, I don't know. She can't hear you.
Go home and see my dad.
You do. Can you hear her at all?
Yes.
I can hear
Okay.
her very
So-
clearly. She has news.
I
and-
can.
She does. So she's been
She's
up
in-
here since Sunday. And then she has PTSD from when we were gone for almost 3 weeks. So she
Oh.
is really upset about mom leaving her. And so
Well, she
she's
misses
not,
I mean, me too, but at the same time,
but
we
anyway,
ate a lot of sandwiches and,
in the middle
tried
of
to
the
get
night, that was
over
pretty
it.
awesome. But anyway, so then I take her home and then I'm back up halfway through here, which is Madison for us
Tell Mom.
on Thursday to grab children again. And then this one goes to my Champagne in-laws. Yeah.
Well, that's great that
Bath
they
bombs.
give you guys that break,
Yeah, they like to have, there's
one
5
at a time.
grandkids. There's 5 grandkids
Yeah.
on this side. And so they like to have one at a time so they get like their one-on-one time with them. And
That's fantastic.
it's like a scheduling craziness to like make
It's
it
good
work.
for the grandkids
but it's
too,
good.
though, because they get to know their grandparents, in a more
Oh, yeah.
personal way.
Well, and like today,
Absolutely.
the reason why I came up instead of just meeting halfway is Angela wants to learn to water ski. And
Mm.
so I'm only here.
I can water ski. Little
I can
known
too.
fact.
I can too.
But I'm not
I-
athletic.
No. No, I cannot water ski, and
It's
I
one of
would
the few things I can do.
I'm gonna have to come off the shelf and give it a try because we're gonna be up here with 4th of July too.
Wait, are we sure we want to do that? Are we sure we want to break a hip? Are we sure we
mean-
want to die?
I'm more concerned about my numb thigh, which still is not quite the way it needs to be. But she needs to see, I think, because we tried. It was too cold today.
I'm just saying, it might be better to go off with the ability of knowing, like, I can water ski. I choose not to, but like I can. Like, if you do it and you can't anymore, then you can't water ski and you have to live with that forever.
I mean,
if
I
you're
think I
like-
can. I'm
Yeah.
gonna feel it for like weeks afterwards. But I think I can do it. But I
That's
think she needs
fair.
to see it. Because I was like literally she was learning the exact same way I was, where my parents were in the fishing boat and I was in the water. It was like 60 degrees and I'm in the water and I'm like lifting her butt up out of the water. And I'm just like, oh my
Oh,
God.
you at least gave her a boost. I was
Yeah.
like, no, we're just gonna circle around you about 35,000 times. Actually, I didn't do too bad though because I was skating a lot. So I
Yeah.
had like the strength in the legs, but oof.
Well, she's got good muscle there from
And dance.
dance,
Yeah.
but it's a whole different situation.
No, I wouldn't even try water skiing when I was in 3rd grade and I had to take swim lessons. I panicked and jumped up and ran into what I now know is the boys' locker room and hid in a shower until the end of the lesson. They couldn't find me. Of course, I didn't know it at the time. That's what it was. But no, that's not my cup of tea.
So don't invite
used
you
to do
over
it
for a pool party
All the
huh?
time.
No, pool is okay. Of course, now I know how to swim really well. And surprisingly enough, in my teenage years, I actually lifeguarded for 2 seasons at the YMCA. But doing anything like water skiing or any daredevil stuff like diving board stuff, no, I'm way past that. Mm-mm.
I was past
Yeah, I
that before I
wouldn't-
even started, really, when you talk about daredevil stuff. I mean,
I
I
swam
don't know if any of
competitively
you have, yeah, you were a swimmer.
for like
I
10
learned
years.
some things from you about what to do if I have to go to the bathroom in a swimsuit. So
You did, yes.
Did
I
you
learned-
pull
do,
everything down.
competitive swimming, Stephanie?
Yeah. Well, I was in lessons and then we ended up in swim team. And my sister and I both for years and years. And so I could do like backflips off the diving board, but then one time I opened my eyes and the board was like here. And I was like, okay, I'm never doing that again. And I didn't. But
Well,
Uh,
of course I could do diving board when I was younger, but these days, no way. These days
yeah,
it's just, laps
yeah. Oh gosh.
or
So I
or
used to
waiting.
swim like 1,500 to 2,000 yards for a warm up in like 20, 30 minutes. And I went as an adult several years ago to try to swim, and that I could barely make 500 for the entire workout. And I was like, this is really depressing.
That's how I feel when I go to skate at a rink. I used to skate for hours. Like even as an adult, like when I right before I had John David and then after I had John David, I skated before I had John David at least 3 hours a day, like
That is so
competitive
cool.
practicing. But then yeah, I get out there for like 20 minutes and I'm like, I'm good. Like I'm good for another year. This is enough. Although the last
I'm
time I really rink skated was I was nursing Penny, but I was supposed to be going to the grocery store, and instead I went to the roller skating rink, and I got plowed by this really good skater who
Is
thought
that when
he
you
could
broke your arm?
magically. Yeah, I broke my elbow and my knee has never been the same. And I went home and John's like, "You're not like going to the doctor right now. We can't." And I was like, "You're right, I'm not." So I went to sleep on this broken elbow
Oh my God.
and just went to the doctor in the morning because it was like, sorry, I didn't get the groceries, but I think I broke my arm. So
Oh
we're good.
goodness.
Yeah, and that was the last time I've actually been, maybe one of the last times I've actually been to the rink because, but now I have a really good driveway and I can suffer on my own.
I can just see you as a skater, Chantel.
I loved it. Yeah, it's
I
my
think
thing.
it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic.
Fantastic. And now I have blue roller skates and they didn't have cool colored roller skates. I had covers I used to make. I would sew up these covers
Oh yeah, I
for my
remember those for
skates so
ice
that I could
skating.
have, yeah, so I could have like rainbow skates basically because why have boring roller skates? That's stupid.
For some reason, roller skates keep showing up on my Facebook Marketplace. I think because I
It's
was looking
because you're
for roller
friends with
blades.
me.
I think it
Well,
may be
that,
because too, I was looking for roller blades for Angela for her last birthday.
yep, that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
my fingers are getting really dirty. I don't have enough glue that is like already dried up a little bit.
When
I
Zoe
think I'm
was
out of all my Soap Lime glue.
Are you?
when it's been about, gosh, I want to think maybe about 15, 17 years, something like that. When she was young, we would go to the park and I had rollerblades and I would go around the track, the like walking track and running track with the rollerblades. And this woman came the opposite way of me and she had a stroller and somehow she got too close and I lost my balance and I fell back and I sprained both my wrists.
Oh my
And
gosh.
ever since then, I have not been on anything with rollers. Not that I would now because, I'm a different size body, and I look different than being young and fit and active and all that. But still, that was kind of the catalyst that keeps me off of anything rolling on my feet. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
understand. Breaking my elbow and having to nurse a baby for several months with like this elbow that you can't do anything about, like a busted up elbow either.
No.
Was like that was a lesson,
I was an entertainment
unfortunately.
reporter in my early 20s, which often meant Stephanie does dumb stuff for the sake of entertainment for the newspaper. And
Sounds like
one
our
of
friendship anyways.
pretty
No, I'm
much.
just kidding.
So I at one time had to go to roller derby practice and they were trying to teach me to like put one foot over the other and
Oh,
I had
crossover.
there was video rolling for this and I fell and bounced on my butt
Oh,
and
did you hurt your tailbone?
I was okay actually. I don't know how, but I was. And I was
You're
I was
lucky.
pretty fit at the time. Like I was like running a lot. That's what we do. We talk on Friday nights.
Wake up and
We do something sewing related and we
Yes.
talk.
And so our video editor, there was a full-time video editor at the Times at that point, edited it and did a slow-mo
Oh, that's
bounce of the
lovely.
bounce. So this exists of me on the internet. If you would like to get a subscription to qctimes.com, I'm sure you can find it. You have to search under my maiden name, which is Stephanie D. Pasquale. And yeah,
If you could spell that, then you're lucky enough to be able
And-
to get that.
and you want to pay whatever the monthly fee is to get access. Yeah,
I
you
feel
can find
like
that.
you told us that once before.
I may have once,
I feel
but that was
like
the last time
kinda
I was
want
on
that.
skates.
I'm with you, Chantel.
It might be
I
in
mean,
your
you want to
budget.
go in together? We could.
Yeah,
We could make.
We can have these.
There also is footage of me on one of those things that they put you up in when you're like playing Peter Pan. And
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
so, and the first time it was like at a semi-professional theater. And so there was like a weight limit of 125. So there is also this chronicle of me trying to drop weight so that I was going to fit to go on this thing. And
This is why
so-
Peter Pan is a woman.
Yeah.
I get it now.
And then the next time it was community theater and I had gained some weight because I wasn't running as much anymore. I was like, oh, nope, I'm not going to fit the 125. They're like, oh, no, this one's rated up to, I don't remember what it was. And I was like, dang it, now I have to do it.
Now I need to go eat.
So I've done
Ah.
this twice now, picked out green clothes and gone up in the air thing. So
Nice.
it's lovely.
Yeah, it
Let's
just brought me
see.
a midnight snack.
Oh,
That's
I'm
lovely.
so jealous. I was just thinking about if there's a midnight
Yeah.
snack up there somewhere for me.
So last night after nuptials, right? So we went to dinner.
Oh, that's true.
We went to dinner. His parents paid for dinner,
Let's see.
which was a blessing. You know, that was nice. And then we came back here. His parents had to head back out of state, but you know, the bride and groom, I guess you would say, and you know, of course, my mom and stuff. We all came back here and watched a movie. And so I decided to stop at the store to buy treats and desserts, right? Because I thought, oh, it'll be, you know, we'll have like a party, watch a movie and whatever. And I overbought. I overbought. I bought $70 worth of desserts from Harris Teeter Bakery.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Easily
Which is-
done.
Which is
Okay.
like 7 things. So now I have this tiramisu, I got lemon bars, I have chocolate roll. They're like ho-hos, only without the hard chocolate and made fresh in the bakery, you know, all these things.
You're killing
So-
me.
I guess every night, you know, I get to eat sweets now. You know, it's
Killing me.
gonna kill the rest of my diet because I'm gonna have to eat salads every day to make up for the calories, you know, of dessert at night.
I'd be happy with a salad right now. I'm so hungry hearing about your food.
That's what I had for dinner was a salad.
I've been craving Chinese food like crazy, and I am not going to make it past this conversation. Like tomorrow, I have to go get some Chinese food.
What
Just
kind
Because
of
you were
fried
what is it?
spoiled on the trip.
Well, I know, right? But so I have a peanut allergy. I have to be really careful about what I
Yes.
have, and so I'll
Especially with
probably end up
Chinese.
and so I'll probably end up going and like
called
buying
soup.
the rice and the vegetables and all that goodness, and then making myself some fried rice because fried rice is my favorite.
That's it.
I'm actually surprised that you eat Chinese out being
I
with your
don't
peanut allergy.
normally. It depends on where it is, and yeah. So I used to be able to eat it. I mean, I did a foreign term in East Asia, so
The
First
peanut
of all,
allergy
favorite.
was a gift of motherhood.
yeah.
right?
Hazel
That's
gave me
right.
that one.
That's right.
Lovely.
I remember you saying that.
She
But
This
it's
one
only
gave me
peanuts,
an egg
right?
allergy.
Hey,
Ooh,
That's
that's
lovely.
why did you tap?
Is it just
Why you
like
do that?
raw or not raw? But
It's just raw.
Like, it's
Like I
just
can eat
egg-
it baked into stuff, but like
Okay.
scrambled eggs, over easy,
Yeah.
egg casserole.
It's
which
that
is
one's
very
real, by the
sad.
way. I know it.
How did
Little
you
Miss
learn about that
Toots.
even? Like, how did you learn that she
No,
How
had
did
that
I
was-
learn about it?
That was milk. Milk and cheese is what does that one. I had too much of cheese today because my parents went to a cheese place that's near
She
here.
tooted on me on a plane.
She gets this look on her face like, and she puts her
And
mask
she
on.
goes, "It was me."
I put the mask on
No,
with
I mean, how did you
grandma.
figure out that she had an egg allergy?
I started vomiting after I ate them, and it was right as COVID was starting, and
Oh,
so
it
I
was
was
you.
like,
Okay.
I
I
was
thought
like
you meant your
panicked.
daughter.
No, with me, I was like panicked that I had COVID, but it would only happen after I would eat. Like my husband loves to make scrambled eggs, so it only happened after I did that, and
Because I
I
love
think it is getting a
scrambled
little
eggs.
better because I was able to eat kind of an egg casserole thing on the plane with Chantel, but I have to eat it real slow because I have to
You were
kind of
gonna
see.
vomit on me. You risked vomiting all
I
over
did
me
a little bit. I did a little bit, but
only because it was me. I'm
it
like,
was
if
no, it
somebody's
was
gonna
really yummy.
understand, it's gonna be her. It
No, it
was
was really
good.
yummy, and you saw how slowly I was eating that thing. I took like a bite, and I just judged how is this
I was
going.
concerned about the other things in there, like the
Yeah,
milk and the yeah. You went for pure death there. I mean, not
I did. I definitely did.
yeah.
But
You went for it.
successfully ate an egg casserole like a month or so, 2 months ago at church. And so I was like, maybe this part is
Hmm.
at least, I think it's if it's really baked really well, I'm okay. If it's still kind of wiggly and jiggly, not happening.
There you go. We don't eat wiggly
Yeah.
jiggly eggs. We only eat
Yes.
solid eggs.
But
Yeah,
even like
you probably
hard-boiled
wouldn't
eggs,
eat them the way I eat them. I eat like,
hard-boiled eggs, that's even a problem. I'm fine until I eat
oh,
the yolk. The yolk, I think, is the problem. But
I mean, I eat fried eggs like over easy, but also I eat like scrambled eggs. They have to be like French scrambled, where they're kind
What does that
of
mean?
okay. So they're not runny, all right, but they are not like well done. They're like
Right. Okay.
they're like
Like
barely done,
medium. Okay. I get
and
it.
so they're called wet eggs, is what they call them in layman's terms.
Ew.
Um, but they're French.
It just sounds awful, but
I
I know
know.
what you mean.
I know. So I
Wet
didn't discover
eggs.
them until, oh, I don't know, maybe about 2.5 years ago. The gal that played the redhead on that 70s show, she has a
Yeah.
YouTube channel and she does cooking. I can't think of her name right now, but she has a YouTube channel and she does all cooking. And I was watching her and I was watching, her channel off and on and whatever. And she showed how she made French eggs. And I was like,
for
oh
a
my
while.
gosh, I'm going to try them. And she puts the spices in them, like herbs and stuff. And they're really, really good. So ever since then, that's how I make my scrambled eggs. I don't make them the way that I was, uh, grown up, like my mom made them, raised them,
Right.
which is like where they're really, really well done scrambled eggs.
Right. I
I
know what
can't
you
even do
mean.
that.
My mom was a terrible cook. And both by choice and by accident, really. She didn't try to get better, but she certainly wasn't getting better by accident either.
This stinks. My mom was a good cook. I can't imagine
No, she
having
was just terrible. She was really good at the microwave. Um, but she could make some eggs. But we had these eggs when I was a kid that she would call oops eggs because I would want an egg over easy or an egg over medium or whatever. And she'd accidentally like break the yolk. So she'd
Yeah.
kind of like wiggle the yolk in the pan and, make it a fried egg. But we just called them oops eggs. And now I don't know what to call these things because it's the only type of egg my son will eat. And he calls them flat eggs because they can't have any fluff to them. They can't be fully scrambled, but they can't be just like the yolk and the white. Like it has to be marbleized.
Yeah. We call
And to
those
think
egg
that my
sandwich
mother was
eggs.
making this delicacy just because she couldn't use the spatula, correctly. And I'm like, these are supposed to be oops eggs, like purely
About my
accidental
age.
I like
made
that
eggs.
name for them though. That's a cool
Yeah,
name.
oops eggs.
Because we call them egg sandwich eggs.
That's what they are. Yeah. But oops eggs because oops, I broke the yolk. So now it's
Right.
an oops egg.
I like it.
Yeah. So I mean, she can
Lily
make a
is
few
impressed
things.
that all of you guys are sewing, by the way.
What?
Lily's impressed that all you guys are sewing too.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's what we
She
do.
asked to
We
know what
talk.
number Chantel is. And I said, well, she's about my age.
What
Little
number am
younger.
I?
Yes.
Barely. Although the kids at camp. So I did that camp. I didn't get to talk a lot about it because I was so exhausted from camp last week, but I helped in the fiber arts area. And oh my gosh, the wonderful number. Like the kids they ranged from probably like 9 to 15. So a lot of them had a really good grasp of like how old an adult would be. Um, but the vast, all of them actually, majority of them thought I was under 30 for sure. And
Well, you do
a
look
good
young.
portion of them thought I was like, 25, couldn't possibly have children, maybe had children at the age of 12 or something.
You do look very
So,
young.
you
yeah,
do.
I was, yeah, and I confused a number of adults too because they had no idea who I was. And I'm talking
I
about my
think-
children, and they think that, like I had kids when I was 15.
So
I think
I'm
I passed easier
curious.
for younger before I let my hair grow out.
Yeah,
Now I
that's
think
fair.
it's obvious that I'm like late 30s.
Chantel, I'm curious,
Yeah.
what is the thing around, like the rope around the tree? Is that what it was? Rope?
It's yarn, and so we used it to make a massive pom pom. I'll send you a picture. It has pictures of kids in it,
Oh.
so I can't post it online, or it has a
Right.
picture of the professor in it and like the main teacher. So but we like yarn bombed that tree, and then we took
Okay.
a big piece of yarn and like wrapped it around it and then cut that
Very
off of the
cool.
tree and made this huge
Made a
pom pom
big
because we get a lot of donations of yarn and things like that. Some really cool, but some of it's not good for people learning how to knit or just in my general direction. You didn't hear all about this. I guess you may have
should
because you
water bottle,
listened
please.
in, but I can't knit,
Right.
turns out.
Yeah. I heard you.
They donated me to another area.
Yeah. That was so funny.
That's so funny.
They
Hey, did you
literally
have your dishcloth?
donated me to a different area.
Do you have your
Um,
dishcloth? I want to see your dishcloth.
Oh my God, I think it's in the car. It's going to be in the back of a car seat for the next 30 years. It's terrible.
She can hear me.
It's like this shape. It got bigger as I went
You
on.
just added some stitches. It's a thing.
And then I was like, it could be a cup koozie. And then it was like, it's actually just too bad to even be a cup koozie. And then it was like, well, I don't know. Somebody could wipe their butt with it, in the porta potty if we run out of toilet paper or something.
I
That's
did a
about how great it
crocheted
was.
dishcloth for Lily for her play kitchen.
I mean, this
So that
isn't
was,
even,
like, my
I
testing.
just, yeah. I don't even want this to be,
In your house.
I got donated to another area.
I did offer to give you a knitting lesson.
I know. And I probably should have taken that. And
probably should
they
have.
did allow me to keep my crochet needles. No, knitting needles.
Knitting needles.
See, I don't even
It's
know
a
what I
crochet
learned.
hook. Crochet hook, knitting needles.
Well,
as
Chantel, I don't know
the type
how
of
to.
person that collects hobbies, it's very good that I'm bad at this one. Let's just leave it like that.
Well, I don't
Because
know
if
how
I
to
was good
knit
at that,
either, so.
I technically know how now. But I shouldn't. Just like technically my mom knew how to make an egg and she shouldn't have, right? It was an oops koozie that I
So-
made, all right? It was
I really enjoy knitting because it's like my take along, the way you take along EPP.
You
Yeah, I
like
could
it
do
better
this
than
forever.
crochet?
I'm just learning to crochet. I'm not very good at it. I have to think a
I
lot.
know how to crochet, and I would say that I suggest EPP for everybody, but
Mom.
I'm biased
Lily.
because that's the thing I like to do.
But yeah, I'm learning. I still have to think a lot about it. So
Oh, see, I mean, that made sense to me, the
Yeah.
hook and pull through, but it works your wrist a lot.
it
It's
does.
not,
And
it's not exactly a
does.
healthy motion.
that definitely contributed to me. That would be 30, Lily. That contributed to me needing physical therapy for sure. Is when I started a temperature blanket and did like 10 rows of ketchup in a weekend. That was not a very good idea.
Yeah.
But what I typically do is I will get like nice yarn for a sweater, and it will take me, there's like different weights of yarn, right? There's really skinny and really fat, the same way there's different weights of thread. And if you get one that's kind of medium to thin, it'll take me like a year to go through it. Lily, that's not a nice thing to ask about Jelly Roll.
What jelly
What did she ask?
She asked if Jelly Roll's fat.
Well, Jelly Roll is appropriately named.
She
That's
needs
what
to
I
lose
would
about
say.
10 pounds. But anyway,
Okay, wait,
Don't-
is
don't we
Jelly
all?
Roll a dog or a cat?
yes, Jelly Roll's a dog.
A dog.
She's
Okay.
she's a basset hound that's 75 pounds and should be
Woohoo!
65. Yeah. She's a
Jelly
lovely
Roll
brown
is
tank.
appropriately named.
Yes,
She's
she is.
fluffy. She's very fluffy.
But
You got
so
the
I would
oomph.
just like have my sweater that I would take along with, and I would do all that. And it would be like $120 worth of yarn. Because when you're doing something like that, you want to get the good yarn. You don't want like Joann's yarn for that. And then I discovered chunky yarn. And then I knit 2 sweaters over a 2-month time span. And then I decided that I could not afford to do that. Nor did I have the space in my drawers for it. So then I
I
switched
like
to
my
socks.
hobby more than my budget likes my hobby.
I
I
know,
get
right?
that.
So then I switched to socks, and a good thing of sock yarn is going to be $20 to $30. But you're going to be able to wear it forever. They'll keep you nice and warm in the winter. And if I'm doing a basic pattern, we're talking about 2 weeks for a pair of socks. If I'm doing one that's more involved, then it's more like a month. But I'm going to a yarn shop tomorrow that's amazing. There aren't that many amazing ones left because it's a smaller industry than the quilting one. So it's even harder to find like good yarn.
Which is actually kind of shocking to me because I feel like the amount of people I see when it comes to a hand art, I should say, it seems like knit goods are the way to do it. But then again, the amount of machine quilters would make fabric clearly that much more exponentially
Yeah.
sellable.
Lily, if you would like to go to bed, you can, but mommy's going to be up for about another hour or so. Okay.
Well, I can go to sleep myself.
You can go to sleep yourself. That's fine.
No,
Grandma said you went to sleep by yourself all week.
no.
You just can't do it when mom's here because you need mom to fall asleep when
Well,
I'm in
ask
the
her what her
vicinity.
project's going to be. What
I
is
know,
she going to
right?
work on?
I know. What are you going to sew? You want to sew something?
Gotta
Yeah.
sew.
Wow, silence.
I don't know. You don't have to sew.
Nothing happened.
We're just being silly. You can watch my phone though some more. You want to watch more videos? Okay. Let's do that.
Last night we watched, have you guys heard of I think it's called If? Yeah, IF. Imaginary Friends.
Mm-mm.
It has Ryan
Oh,
Reynolds
which-
in it. You haven't heard of
I
it?
don't know. I have not heard of that one. No.
No, I
It's-
thought I did, but then I was really just thinking about the rain. You said something about friends, and then I was thinking about the Rainbow Friends, and then I was thinking about whoever it was that
Chantel
made
was
the
having
purple
an
Rainbow Friend.
entirely.
Yeah.
Sorry, ADHD
okay.
took me down a very different path, but I do
Yeah,
want to
that's
follow
called-
up with whoever it
that's
was
called
that was
s-
making the Rainbow Friend because
Oh,
that was
yes.
awesome.
That's called Stream of Consciousness, and you should read James Joyce, and you will understand, I think, all of it. Portrait of the
Hmm.
Artist of a Young Man. That's a good intro one to James Joyce.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I
Very,
just
very
call
well
it
said.
Squirrel. So
And squirrel's appropriate too. Understandable.
no,
Very on.
it's the movie's called Imaginary Friends, and it has Ryan Reynolds in it, and it's about a little girl who can see imaginary friends that have outgrown their friend,
Their
their
kids.
human friend,
people.
right? Their kid, their person, and it's her adventure through that. It was pretty cute. I actually think it would be really good for, like, there, and he's 3. No interest at all. Is not a cartoon or whatever. But it was neat, the imaginary friends come on and they're puppets or they're in the outfits or cartoony, that part. But I feel
Mhm.
like it would
Right.
be really good for like a 8 to 10-ish kind of age, kind of that age. It was cute.
Good to know.
We watched that last night. And then we heard there's Inside Out 2.
Yes,
It's
I
in
was just
theaters.
thinking about, we've watched Inside Out multiple times in the last week and a half or so because Penny thinks that's the best movie that has ever happened. And so
I
when you
love
said
that.
Imaginary Friends, the
Yes.
sub way, I went one way and then I went
The
the other
sub-
way with my
yeah.
mind.
The
And the other
subplot.
way with my mind had to do with Bing Bong, who
Yep.
is the imaginary friend in Inside Out.
Yes.
Who's
Darren
trying
has
to
been
hide
walking
himself.
around going bing bong, bing bong.
Bing Bong, who's your friend that likes to play Bing Bong, Bing Bong, Bing
Oh
Bong.
no. Oh, my whole stack just fell.
Oh no!
That's so good. My older daughters, that's one of the activities she wants to do with my parents this week is go to the movies and see that.
My kids have that at camp, which I'm so thankful for camp. My
I
kids
have
keep
been
asking,
told
why
it's
do I have to
really,
go to
really
camp?
good.
I'm like, so I don't go insane. Camp is really about me, not
It
about
is.
you.
It definitely
About
is.
me. Trying to
Angela's-
explain that to them that you have to go to camp so I don't die, not the other way around. I'm
Angela's
not
been home
worried
with
about
me
you
this
being
summer.
bored. I'm worried about me not being bored.
Angela's been home with me this summer and she's had to go on 2 on location video shoot days. And she actually was pretty good. Although the one we had this week, I had to tell her she was like rolling herself up in a burrito in the quilts of this woman who I've known forever. She used to be a good customer of ours. And I was like, Angela, we're filming. If you're gonna roll yourself up as a burrito continually, you're gonna have to go shut yourself in the office to be a burrito.
You have to go
She's-
burrito
and
elsewhere.
and she's like, okay. It's no
Okay.
complaint. She's just like, okay. So she took all her stuff and then was a burrito behind closed doors where she wasn't gonna just be
Okay,
distracted.
that's really funny.
It was hilarious. But
Just left to burrito.
I know Lily does not understand why she has to go to camp though. It's a sore topic.
And there's just not enough fun at home. That's why.
No, because mom will not get anything done if she's at home. I had to
Well,
work
that
here
too.
today. Like I did put in like 7 hours today. And my dad's like, I thought you were on vacation. I'm like, I'll be on vacation when I'm here at 4th of July. Right now, it's pollinator week. I only shot this video last week and I got 2 full-length videos plus 18 shorts out of it. And pollinator weekend Saturday. So I got to finish that. Okay, you can go on the couch, Lily.
Perfect.
So Lily was not understanding that. That was not the mommy's back that she was hoping for, I think.
That's
But-
fair. I did finish my Halloween quilt. I have
saw
to bind it.
It's
You
the
got to see
background of
it.
our thing today.
Ooh, is it really? I
It
did
is
not
really.
know.
I did text you the image.
Yes, technically, but
Your
did I
camera's
notice?
very confused. We can see
I
the
know
corner.
it's there. See, there I am. Cameron,
Oh my
don't
gosh,
worry.
that's so cute.
That turned out really cute.
And it glows in the dark.
Oh my
All the
gosh.
thread is glow in the dark. It's the one that I ran out of thread with. Told you I'd finish it. But
looks
then I went
awesome.
ahead and serged the edges. The back's really cute.
So when I
So-
finish mine, I'm gonna send it to you so you can do the glow in the dark thread on mine too, okay?
Great. Yes. That was
So-
a pain.
Did you end up pulling it off and back on again? Did that work out okay?
So I ended up buying a different brand of glow in the dark thread because the other one wasn't going to come for like 2 weeks and it's like almost exactly the same. So I'm worried about it.
Well, that's
I didn't pull it off. I left it on because I was able to get it back in like 2 days. But
That's not so
then
bad.
me being able to get downstairs, I was only on the frame for 2 weeks, which, considering that I don't have a business or anything and I come down here when I feel like it, that's pretty good.
Candace says your
Good
quilt
enough
is
for
very
me.
cute.
This one's for JD, so he gets this one. A lot of spider webs.
He will have fun watching it glow in the dark, I think.
Hopefully, I'd like to see him in the dark more often and not awake
in the middle of the night,
all the time.
like my child right now.
I have to take a bathroom break though, so I'm
It's
going
all
to
good.
pause and you guys carry on.
Poor
Um,
Lily. She'd like,
Stephanie,
go ahead. I was just saying
Um,
she had a meltdown tonight.
Did
So
she?
oh yeah.
I already told Chantel this when it happened, but Theron got his diagnosis. He got his evaluation last week,
Mhm.
and they classified him as level 2 autism.
So does that
So
mean he gets services now?
now they get services. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes. So that's what we have been on the wait list for a year and a half, you know,
Yeah.
waiting. So that was very exciting.
That's
I
good.
mean, it's not like it's necessarily exciting, the result, but I mean, we already knew what it was
You
going to
knew,
be.
and now you
Right.
just get to get help.
Exactly. And that's the exciting part, is that, you know, she's going to be able to get not only like support in the way of school, education, therapy, you know, that kind of thing, but also support from other families that are like her. Yeah.
I was really concerned about Angela having an IEP,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought, whenever I thought of that, I thought of like, kids who were behind,
Yeah.
and what that meant. But that's not at all what it is. It just means like you're going to get these services because you
Right.
qualify for them and they help you.
Well,
And
did she go
so,
to like early in?
so it was a whole thing. I had said something to the doctor that I thought there was an issue, and he's like, "Oh, well, we'll just wait 6 months and try then, see how it goes." And so 6 months comes and there's still a problem. And she's had like maybe 20 words, including animal sounds. And he's like, "Okay, we'll get you an evaluation." So, it takes a little bit to get that. And then they come and they're like, "Well, she definitely qualifies, but um, there's a 6 month wait list in the state. And by the time she would hit the point of the wait list, she it has to get her through school, so she'll have to wait till she goes to preschool." And it would have been like a year and a half,
Oh
I think,
my.
between when she was confirmed that, yeah, we have a delay. And it was very frustrating both for her and for us, because she's
Wow.
very clearly trying to communicate something that makes sense in her little mind, but we have
I'm
no
with you.
idea
I can
what
totally relate to that 100%.
she's trying to say. And I was like, this is not good. So it was hard. Like, it was not a good point. We had two like rough points of the business. There's one like as we were getting started, which was when all this was happening, and then one when it kind of crashed and burned. But so like we had to scrimp and make it happen, but we paid like it was a lot of money. I feel like it was like $300 or $400 out of pocket for her to go and get services at Augustana College, which at the
Oh,
time just
wow.
had majors would do it, so college students.
Yeah.
And it was something, we saw a lot more improvement when she was in the school
But they
system.
didn't have
And
any type of scholarship or anything?
I don't know, but we certainly didn't know about it if they did. But I mean, we started to finally see like what the heck we needed to do and how to work with her and things like that. And so there was improvement. And then there was even more improvement once she was in the school system and was working with someone who actually had gone through the degree process and the master's process. But, it's like, what do people
Yeah.
do who
It,
can't afford? I mean, we sacrifice to make it happen, but that's what you
well,
do for your kids. But
right.
not everybody can have those choices or
No.
know that that is even an option
Early
that's
on, we had to
available.
pay. Yeah, early on, we had to pay for stuff for Theron. Like his all his oral surgeries, we had to pay out of pocket all of that
Really?
because Medicaid would not pick up any of it. And, and then he wound up having his craniectomy. And of course, that's going to be much more important. I mean, I say that, but then again, you got to be able to eat, right? And he couldn't
Yeah.
couldn't suck as a baby. And so, it was a lot, but I totally understand. I
Yeah.
think that it's hard, um, because the situation that we're in with Theron and my daughter is in with him because, they lived with us and stuff because he had his surgery, because, he had the craniocystinosis. I don't say it right. It's pronounced differently. But because he had that, we have been able to get the therapies, I think, get into them quicker
Mhm.
and easier as part of,
That
the
treatment.
right,
It unlatched the door is basically
Right.
what
Yeah.
it did.
right. Where versus it sounds like just with the delay,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can't imagine if it would
It's
have taken
hard,
long. And,
you know.
I hear you about the communication because he is saying
They get
more
so
words
mad.
now.
They get
Oh,
so mad
because
because to them
he
it makes sense,
yes.
but to
And
you,
he's
you have
trying to
no
tell us
idea
we
what
don't
you're saying.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah. And Lily was speech delayed too. But that time, like I had already been through the rodeo, I knew what to do. So I didn't even talk to the doctor about it. I went straight to Augustana. And it
Good.
was like right when I knew there was going to be a problem. It was like, I think right around, it was around Christmas, I think when she was 2, maybe, because she just wasn't saying much. And so, and I knew like some of the techniques and stuff. So like that Christmas, I had bought her, books that had a lot of animals in it and colors. So that way we could talk about sounds and things in there as I read to her. And I bought her a bunch of safari animals so that we could do sounds of animals. And that was really helpful. And then we started, I think when she was 2. But with Angela, I think she's really young for her age. So
Now,
I think she maybe, or for her like school age. So I think she maybe was like almost 3 by the time we
yeah.
started with Angela. And it made a huge difference starting
Did
so
the
early.
school district ever come in and like evaluate like the parents as teachers thing?
No, I mean, when we got
Illinois
into
is terrible for that though.
when we got
Really?
into school, I said, "Hey, this is something we're doing."
Missouri was great. Illinois is terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, my daughter didn't even have delays, and parents as teachers is so awesome in Missouri. And North Carolina has a
Mhm.
really good program as well. They call it early in.
Mhm.
But I can't imagine them not having something for you.
I mean, they did once we were in preschool, but I had to tell them. It's not like it like followed her in a file or anything.
Well, with Theron,
And
they
it took
can.
like 6 months, I feel like. I think she was in school for like, I don't know, something like 4 to 6 months before she finally got evaluated for speech. And during
Was
that
that when she
entire
was 5?
time, when she was, this would have been her first year of preschool. So she
So
was like
3.
3,
Okay.
like a real young 3. And I told them, hey, this is what's up. And it took a long time. And in the meantime, we're paying out of pocket for all this stuff and we really couldn't afford it, but we were making it work.
You have to. Yeah,
Yeah, you know, but you do what you have to for your kids. But,
that's right.
and then Lily, so like, she'll say stuff every once in a while where like there's a W that's not really supposed to be there. And so I had the speech person at their school take a look at her and she was fine, but it was like totally normal. So like that early intervention, I mean, my older daughter just graduated from the speech program, I think because they don't keep them in when they're in 5th grade. Like there's still stuff that she says wrong every once in a while. But Lily, like, fine, because we were able to get her in a whole year earlier.
I think the
But
only reason that Theron is even starting to make semblance of words that we can understand is through because of his therapist.
yeah,
His therapists are so awesome. Without that, I just don't even know. So he's been in therapy since well before he was 1, and he's always been a jibber jabber. Like he's always, yeah, 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 like you can't understand what he's saying. He's just vocalizing, right? But it didn't
Mhm.
make any sense. And it's only been within the last couple months that he's been able to say anything that we could even understand. So, like, one time when he was 6 months old, he said, Mama, and then
Mhm.
never said it again until like maybe about 3 or 4 months ago. And now but he mostly says Zoe because we always
That's
call
what
her
you call her.
Zoe.
Buddy.
Yeah, and so he'll walk around the house saying Zoe, Zoe.
My
and so
daughter calls me Nana
yeah.
because she used to call my boobs Nana,
Oh,
and now I'm Nana.
nice.
You're one and the same.
Nice. But so we've started calling her mama. So that way, he's picking it up. But I would say when the here in North Carolina, the early intervention services that happen through the state, they end at 3 years old. So they transition them into the school district at 3. And then the school district then picks up the different things, and evaluates, okay, they need speech, they need this, whatever. Now, he still gets the stuff on the medical side, but as far as the state side, that's just how it works here. So, about 2 months before he turned 3, they were scheduling all the visits, all the appointments to evaluate him and everything. So we knew he was going into early in and starting the preschool, which is the same, he'll have an IEP.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but the one that he had before the age, like from birth to the age of 3, it's like an IEP, but it's
It's
for
like it's like EEP or something like that.
yeah,
It's like
something like that.
it's like a pre-IEP essentially.
Right. Right. And so he had that. And so now he has an actual IEP. And the thing that we're nervous about is we're nervous about the actual 3 days a week in preschool because out here, they don't have half day. It is 8-hour preschool days, 8 hours for 3-year-olds.
That's how JD was.
That
That's
is
It
how
was
his-
8 hours
Lily
a
went.
day, 5 days a week.
and
That's how Lily did too.
the doctors wanted him to go into ABA therapy, and we selected not to because we didn't feel comfortable because he wasn't communicating that if he didn't like something or someone or something, he couldn't tell us that he didn't
Yeah.
like it. And we're still very happy with that decision. My daughter made all those decisions, so when I say we, of course, she
Yeah.
made those. But
She's mama, and so she made
right.
it.
Right. But she lives here, and so we all have changed our life, to accommodate his needs, of course, and stuff. But that's really nerve-wracking. So what she's thinking about doing, because she's going to have the new baby and stuff, she's thinking about only sending him half day. We talked to the school when they came here to the house for one of the evaluations, and she said we don't have to keep him there the full 8 hours because he's used to taking a nap during the day. And
Oh, my son still took a nap during ABA when he stayed full day. Like that was
he did.
part of the yeah.
Yeah. Our preschool does nap.
Because we had
There'll be like
we
a
had
mat.
Hazel at the same time.
There'll be
So-
like
The
a
other-
little mat that you have to purchase from like Target for them to lay on.
Oh, okay.
And then you
We
can
didn't
bring
even
in a
have to
pillow and a
purchase any. I
stuffy.
mean, they had it all.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that
They don't
I'm
want
nervous
crabby kids
about
either.
is that he's not potty trained yet. It has been
They
just
potty trained John David
Well, that's what she
at
said.
4.
She said that a lot of times they go into the program not potty trained and they come out potty trained.
Yep.
So, but it's still kind of nerve wracking because we've been trying to potty train him for 2 years, pretty strongly for the last year. The first year
No.
was
JD was
introducing him.
4.
You'll be
When
fine.
he did it,
Because
he did it.
it was the same with Angela. She was in a school, like a state school. And
Yeah.
so they allowed them to go with like pull-ups, and she did. And she like, I thought she might go to preschool or to kindergarten, not potty trained, that child, because she just didn't want to do it. Like she was fully capable, she just didn't want to. And so it took, that's not unusual. It'll be fine.
Well, we have been told over and over again that, the children with autism are harder to potty train. So kind of expect it. But I mean, we did everything. We
I
did
know.
everything.
I know.
It just takes
I did
time.
everything too, and it doesn't. With Lily, I don't know, I learned my lesson. Like I didn't let her not have the option. Like we went on vacation a year ago and I didn't bring diapers. And I brought some diapers for her to sleep in and just extra clothes that I took around with me the whole time. And I was like, if you got to go, you got to tell me. And I asked her a million times and we went a million times. And by the end of that week, she was potty trained. But
That's awesome.
that
They
doesn't,
like potty train you,
yeah,
basically. Like if you
But-
don't make them do it, then they're not really gonna do it. I mean, some kids might, but that's not how I experienced it with my kids.
yeah, like Angela, I
They
never
trained
did like
me to make sure they were trained.
I didn't do like a cold turkey thing like that with her. And it went on for a really long time. So your experience is not unusual at all.
Well, my daughter potty trained so fast. I had her potty trained by 8 months. So this
It's
is
insane.
Yeah. new territory for me.
No, my kids were 3 and 4.
You're fine.
And we kind of went with that because it was easier for me. And when they did it well.
Yeah.
I will admit though that because you got to remember the evaluations that they did when all of this happened, we're talking like this was March, right? So it's been March, April, May, June. So we're 4 months in now away from that. And I am glad to see his vocabulary growing, even though, like he'll say, Becky, and he's really saying blanket,
Mhm.
So even though some words don't sound anything like they should, the attempt is there and we're keeping the list and the ear, for
Mhm.
it and stuff. At least it's getting more, prevalent and
Well,
more words.
he's using the same word to mean the same thing each
Right.
time. That's
Yes.
progress for him.
And also he's starting to understand, like if we say which one is the car, like, or which one is the ball, he'll be able to decipher the difference between those. So definitely there is improvement happening relatively quickly right now. And that is exciting because
Mhm.
that makes us feel more comfortable that once he gets in the classroom with these other children, that he will
That'll
be
help.
able he'll be able to communicate, or he'll catch on to things and stuff.
And it runs the gamut too. Like this year, and when I asked Lily's preschool teacher has a background in speech therapy as well. And when I asked, is this normal? She said, well, I will have, Miss Martin, the speech person, give her an evaluation. But, I've got one kid where I can't understand a thing he says. And Lily's always pretty clear and tries when we do like corrections. So, it takes time though. Do you have like a bin of like play animals, like little animals where you can
Yeah.
just play? Yeah.
Yeah, I have so much stuff because the therapists have all come to the house for the last 2 years. So
Mhm.
anything that they want, I buy and make sure to have here. Zoe was in college, so she didn't have the money to buy
Yeah.
that stuff. So, of course I'm grandma. What are you gonna do? Nana. I'm Nana. I'm for sure I'm gonna get it. So he's got so much stuff here that the therapist, they would bring stuff too, but I would always make sure to have a lot here. But he is a tinker. He likes to tinker and try to figure out things and like small things. So, my fingers crossed, engineer in the making, right?
Yeah, JD too. I feel that.
I'm okay. I could see a future Elon Musk. I would be okay with that.
Maybe not so vocal. Yeah,
Yeah.
a
Yeah, maybe
quieter
not.
one.
But
But
I mean, it's just the brain working differently. It's not that they're not
yeah,
smart. It's not that they're not gonna get there eventually. It's just the brain processes information differently. And I think that
I
as
like
a
to think that
society,
all brains process information differently. We just like to think that one way is normal and one isn't.
well, and my
I mean,
daughter is ADHD
ADHD, hello. Yeah,
and probably my husband too. And I've worked with a lot of people that have it.
probably.
And it's just like, I mean, he won't get diagnosed. Let's just say that. But it's just like, we just, I know, like with my husband, that if he hasn't done something that I've asked about, it's not that he's being a jerk about it. It's that it has completely left his mind. And he no
Gone.
longer recalls that he said he was going to go do that thing. And so I have to ask again. And sometimes I have to ask 3 times. And if it gets to 4, then I'm mad. But, I know that if it's the first or the second time, I just need to be calm because it's not like he's not being difficult on purpose. It just is what it is. And like with Angela, I'm like, look, I take medication too every day for my brain will function the way I need it to. And that's okay. We
of course.
wouldn't like not take heart medication because there's a stigma
Exactly.
about it, you know?
Yep.
So it's just another part of the body.
It just makes you, heal. It helps you heal as well,
Yeah.
so you can function. I hate to use the word normal, but function normally,
Optimally.
Yeah.
optimally. That's a better word.
That's
better.
definitely a good word. And it's a very accurate word. But I'll have to send it to you. There's a toy that we got at Target that they had in the therapy. It's like a house that has 4 doors and there's little toys inside the door. But there's 4 separate keys with 4 different shapes. So
Oh,
they're learning like fine motor skills as well as shape recognition. And they still have a good time with that. They still are playing with that toy.
yeah.
We
And
So,
love our Love Every toys. I
oh
don't know
yeah,
if that's not how you pronounce it, but like we
yeah.
got the subscription for Penny, and I was just getting rid of some of them for a neighbor, and she just like rediscovered all of them, even though they were on my way out. I'm like, no, no,
you
no,
got,
sweetheart.
you got to get
These
them
ones are
out of the
coming
house
into the
faster.
box to go.
We didn't
I
have a
was
subscription, but I picked up some. One of the gals on post was selling a whole bunch of her um, at home. She's taught her kids at home,
Mhm.
and she had a bunch of Love Every toys, and so I picked those up. Theron loves those. They're some of his favorite. I don't have a lot, but the one box full for sure.
But they're simple enough that the kids figure out something to do with them. I'm not really sure. The dog likes to eat the felt toys, so I have that in my benefit.
here.
They're for everyone. They're Love Every.
I am putting the link in the chat on YouTube. It's on Amazon.
For the
The toy
house.
house.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
needs more. He still hasn't. So he's 3 because he just turned 3 this spring, but he's still working in therapy because he hasn't gotten down the twisting yet,
Mhm.
like this.
They play a lot of Play-Doh.
They do, yes, and then he has a lot of like sensory issues. So we do use like shaving cream and lots of different
Yeah.
textures of stuff to work through that. But what was I going to say?
Twisting
Oh,
a key.
when the twisting of the key is good for that because also he's still trying to figure out how to scoop. He dips but won't scoop, And when they did the evaluation, when CCS came in and did the evaluation for early in, for the fall to see where he placed for that. They got him at just above 1 in his fine motor. There was a whole bunch of stuff that was just being 1. The only thing that he's almost to age on is his like is it gross motor? Like, like
Throwing a ball.
running,
Yeah.
jumping, that kind of
Mhm.
thing. He's real strong in that area. But the speech delayed, the fine motor delayed. It was like all delay. But, he's been in these therapies for all this time and he's doing well, like he improves. So I can't imagine where he'd be if he hadn't been,
I know.
in
Yeah.
the therapy. But the definitely the twisting of the wrist, any motion like that,
They'll like
anything.
that toy.
Yes.
It's a really fun toy. And if you lose the pieces, you can put other toys in it. It's like
Oh,
not a
good.
big deal. I'm sure
Okay.
they had lost their pieces a long time ago. Like it's
Yeah,
because they
I'll
had just
get it
whatever
for
in
him.
there.
I'll get
But-
it for him. He likes all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then puzzles. He loves puzzles. Oh my goodness, he loves puzzles.
Do you have 4 puzzles?
No, he's not at that level.
Well, they're
The puzzle-
huge. They're
yeah,
like big.
the puzzles he does.
We
is like-
started with JD with like the 4-piece, and then we went to
Yes.
9-piece, and then we
They're-
went to 12 and then 16. But it's funny because it was like a complete off kilter when we went from 9 to 12 pieces. He was like, whoa, I can't believe there could be so many more pieces in his little
Oh my gosh.
brain. And he just thought that was the greatest thing. And then we went to the next level. And then at some point, it just clicked that, like, oh, it doesn't matter how many pieces there are. You can put them together and it'll make the picture. Boom.
Theron
And it's
is
just
still at the
funny because
4
it did not make sense to him.
He almost all his puzzles are 4-piece. He has a couple that are 6. All the 8 pieces they're too much for him. Well, he
Yeah.
just mastered putting the like with the knob and the one shape and being able to figure out like the oval and get it in the oval or the square and get it in the square. So
Do you
Yeah.
have like the Melissa and Doug puzzles where you're like matching? Yeah, those are great.
And
Especially
it
when
took us
they
some
make
time
sound.
for those. And then all of a sudden it made sense. It was incredible. Like one day it just clicked for him. Or it would be like you talk about there and like it clicked one day and then it went away. And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden it clicked again, like a completely different month later. Like
Yeah,
he had
that's-
completely forgot that he understood it and then he would do it.
for
But then
sure
I like
that
look at
Theron's
Penny, who is a very like typical developing child, but her language isn't the greatest. But she is talking all of a sudden and she is getting things. So I pulled out toys that I was talking about getting rid of, not those ones, but I was talking about getting rid of the younger toys, of the Lovery toys or whatever they are. And I pulled out some that I hadn't really had her mess with because I didn't have time to really do the lesson with them yet. But when the internet's down, it's the perfect time to do it.
That's right.
And she just instantly, those puzzles, like she understood what to do and how to get it. And it's like, man, with John David, I would have to like show him and show him and show him and show him. And then he would like do it once, forget. And then all of a sudden, he could do any puzzle that existed in the universe.
well,
like,
Theron's
I
new
should-
thing is-
What?
I should
Yeah,
send you like what we have for Lily that she's outgrown because it might
Oh,
be
yeah,
like something that they would be into.
that would be cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Theron is into right now doing hand over hand and taking my hand and using my hand to put whatever wherever it needs to go.
So is Penny. That's
I'm
funny
like-
because they're like, she'll like take the piece and she'll go, oh, because she's a Midwestern child and she's going to say, oh, when it doesn't fit, she'll take my hand and do it and look at me and say, oh, and then she'll take it and put it in the right hole and be like, yay. And you're like, oh
That's
my
funny.
God, don't mock me.
So
Oh.
Theron,
Oh,
one of his words for some time has been he'll go Opie, Opie, but it'll sound like apple and it means open. So it'll be like apple, apple, but he's trying to say open, open. Well, then he got help. And so says help really good. For that.
That word just clicks. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's supposed to. But recently he's been bringing us stuff for like help, because if something breaks, if one of his toys like come apart, or if his cat wands would break or whatever, he would bring it and say help. So we've been teaching him to fix it. We've been teaching him, oh, you want Nana to fix it, take it to Papa and have Papa fix it. So he brings something to me yesterday. I don't remember what it was. He brings it to me and he says, fix it. But it was broken. Like it was something like really broken. You couldn't fix it. And he just didn't understand that we couldn't fix it.
You're
Oh,
like,
and
is that the right thing? But
he was saying the right thing. And I was just like, baby, I know, but it's broken. You
no,
can't
fix it. No, fix
So
it.
after that, he walked around going, broken, broken. It was so funny. And I don't know if he'll ever say it again, because that was kind of a first, but it was kind of funny. But we're trying to like expand on the things that he does understand,
Do you do sign language with him too?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he started to do happy, to sign happy, and we've did sign language with him since he was in the crib, since he was a week old. So
Maybe never liked the sign language until he got like more. And then he's like,
yeah.
Yeah. they
like,
got
why
that
are
one.
you getting this? I want more. And you're like, you
All
can't
right.
have more Pop-Tarts.
All
So,
done. Darren will
we
do
have-
more on.
Damien is requesting to join. And Damien, the closer we get to midnight, the more it is important to ask you a question to prove that you're a quilter. So we want to know what you call a quarter yard of fabric that is not 9 inches wide by width of fabric. And you can answer that question on the YouTube chat. And if you answer correctly, we will admit you. What is you call a quarter yard of fabric that does not measure 9 inches wide by the width of fabric?
Commonly used by quilters.
Yes.
It's a good one.
That is a good one. We should have lists of things.
I know, but I feel like they come so naturally at this time of night when,
Yeah.
we're ready to go.
Gotta be
Yes.
careful.
Oh, he has
How do
chosen to left the chat. So I feel like Damien realized that we were not
Realized
just
that-
gonna let him in. Oh well.
Well,
When it gets to be midnight, you never know what you're gonna get.
it's okay, buddy.
It's all right. He tried. I'm doing
We're
very
excited
good.
though. I will say we're excited, for Theron and Zoe, that they're going to be getting services, and that she got married this week, and it's like
That's
doing all
huge.
doing all the adult things, it's
How old is she
Most
now?
adult things aren't that exciting, but I mean that's
Yeah.
definitely,
she's going to be 27 this year.
Oh, that's exciting.
yeah.
But it's like my one
She has
friend
a fully formed frontal lobe now. She can make
Yeah.
real adult decisions. It's good.
Exactly. My one friend, she goes, I almost find it harder having adult children and helping and taking care of your adult children than when they were teenagers. And it's like, yeah, kind of, yes. It almost is harder to help, because you're straddling that line of, trying to encourage them to do their thing and to be independent and support them in their,
Like
wanting
be
to
adult.
yes.
Go be
But-
adult.
But also, have responsibility. Then also they like, well, but I don't have the money. So they want to rely on you to pay the bills. And it's like, it's just all the things. And
Yeah.
she's had a way to go having the baby and with so much difficulty and then postpartum depression in college. So it's good to see things finally, kind of swaying
Coming
on
together.
the upturn. Yes. Coming together and swaying on the upturn.
Trying to rotate y'all.
I mean, obviously I'm a ways away from that, but I've kind of in my mind thought, just based on my experiences, that I will want to just ask, like, all right, TNA Tampa says it's been real, but really was looking for more quilting talk. We do talk quilting, just sometimes we get
We
on our
do,
tangents.
but we go back and forth.
How can I help? What do you need from me? That's going to be, I think, my main question, rather than saying, all right, well, let's do ABC, because I want them to figure out what that is. And if they don't
Right.
know, then that's a fine answer too. But I don't know.
Well, she is wanting to learn to sew, which I'm
That's
very
good.
excited about that,
That is very exciting. What are you going to do
Yeah.
with her first?
Well, I kind of had started because she had expressed that to me last fall, and I ordered the Shabby Fabrics Gnome of the Month. It was, goodness sakes, I got a cat over here. They are battling for the same bed.
Kitty
They're very
wanted more
unhappy.
quilty talk too.
Can you hear them? Can you hear them?
Yeah, I can.
Very clearly.
But they're right next to the mic of
That's
my
funny.
video.
It's
But
cute.
anyhow, so I bought those because they're the seasons every month. So the gnome is like, Santa gnome, and then you have the January with the snow and stuff like that. And I thought that would be really cute for her classroom. But then also she could put it on the door of her house or apartment or wherever, once she moved out. And of course, now that she's married, that is happening. But also, our son-in-law, he's going in the military next week. He's leaving for basic training. So, there's at least a year before he's out of all the training with
Yeah.
the schooling and stuff that they'll have to worry about cohabiting.
True.
That is, it's
But
whole
that'll be
own
that'll be a
situation.
good opportunity. Do you have a picture of what it looks like, the gnomes? And you said it's
Shabby Fabrics.
Shabby Fabrics.
You can't sign up for it anymore. It's out. And I do have the stuff, but it's all back in my office. My sewing room.
I got to
So-
see the stash.
But what I will do is I will next Friday, I will bring it and I'll do show and tell and show you all things, because I only have been able to sit down with her once since I got it. So we've only made 1 month. So we have all the other months to do. And I told her, I said, well, this, summer, we should take time to do that and stuff. So now that, the schedule is, all these doctor appointments are done, all the retreats done, we're getting, she's got the wedding, the nuptials, not really wedding, but nuptials done and all that. Now it's going to be, okay, let's have some mommy daughter sew days, right?
Oh,
And we're going to get this done. And then also she was watching as I made her dress the last couple days, and
The wheels were turning.
yes. And my husband goes, wow, that looks really good on her. You should make another one. And I go, well, as it would happen to be, I actually bought 2 of the fabrics because I wasn't sure which, one she
What
would
you're gonna
want.
do.
Right. And so,
like what a unique segue, sweetheart.
yes. And so,
Hmm.
I had suggested to her that when we make her next dress, that maybe she could help and
Yeah.
learn some about seamstressing, which is different than quilting, of
Yeah.
course.
Yes. Actually,
My
guys,
daughter
what is your
did-
advice for teaching an almost 8-year-old how to sew.
What are you
Well,
trying to do with
she
them?
has,
Because I've done
well,
this.
she has an interest, but at the same time, she doesn't have an interest because it's like my thing. But I could tell she wants to. And honestly, I don't even know where to start.
You have
okay,
to
teaching
do
a child.
things that you can
before
do in half an hour or less, or that you
Before
can like do a part of in 30 minutes
Okay.
or less.
Stephanie, before you answer, because I know you're going to have lots of
Yeah.
stuff that you're going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
able to help her on this with. But
True.
before Stephanie answers, Chantel,
Yes.
her name, it's a YouTube channel, and it's Pin Cut Sew, I think is what her name is. She's a military wife. She
Okay.
actually has a little book that she created to teach children that age to sew. And
Oh, okay.
she has a YouTube channel and she talks about it. So if you look her up, I think it's only like $5, her book.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's really, really good. And that might help you in addition to everything that Stephanie's about to, inform you about.
I think I actually did a YouTube video with tips on this, but you have to consider the attention span above all else. So like the very first
Problem is
project
my attention span.
well, the very
sometimes.
first project I did with Angela was she was 4 or 5. She was in kindergarten. And we did quilt as you go placemats. And I knew that she had no business around a rotary cutter at that point and probably wouldn't be interested in watching me do
Probably
it. So
still doesn't.
no, she still doesn't. And so I had pre-cut all the backing, all the batting, and all the strips to size. And I also laid it out for her like in color stacks. So
Mhm.
so that way she could just pick, to have like a color progression for it. And at first, I think she sat in my lap and I ran the foot pedal for her, and then she would just feed it through. And then she didn't do any binding. That was like above where she was at. But also she wasn't interested in that. She still isn't interested in that. But we
I'm not
could do it.
interested in that.
We
Here
all
I
know
am.
I'm not either. But
Glue it on.
but anyway, it's like we did that and we were able to get like one together, and that maybe all we made is one. I don't remember. Maybe we went back and did a second one later. But it was something we could sit down, we could do it really quickly and get through it. And then she was really excited and holding up her finished thing for everyone to see. And then she was able to eat on it like that night. And I made it double-sided. So that way it was like mermaids on one side and unicorns on another.
Does she
So
still have it?
we do still have it.
Awesome.
So she was, that was like the perfect project for her to start with. And another one that we did, pillowcases you think are good, but there's a lot of like in between steps for them that they can't do, like rolling
makes
of the
sense.
burrito, and so they'll get bored with that. One thing I did with Angela is I had saved like charm packs for a long time for her, and this ended up not being the best thing because not all charm packs are cut to the same.
They are not. I just did
size.
a charm pack project.
And that's really annoying. But if you like pre-cut some 5-inch squares, and then I just
Yeah.
had a sewing machine out that was hers to use whenever she wanted. And I filled an entire drawer up full of 5-inch squares so she could put things together at any time. And at the beginning, she would do like a row at a time, and that was enough for her. And if you do like 12 rows of 8, that's a really nice little lap size quilt. And she still has that and sleeps with it in her bed that she made. That was like
Aw.
her first like
So that
quilted
was like
project.
her pride project
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely. And
Another
so
thing that you could consider with the quilt thing is that she could make a doll quilt for
Yeah,
her
that too.
American Girl dolls.
she did those.
She
She
has a
did
few of
some,
those.
she did some little ones. Those were with 2.5. They love the 2.5-inch square packs. Oh my gosh, the children fight
Oh
over
yeah,
them.
those like the
Yes.
what do you even call those?
I don't even know.
They're
But
like a
I would
mini charm something
I
or
would
another. I know what
always
you're talking about.
like will send them out as like a promo to try to get you to buy their fabric when you're a wholesaler. And so I would always end up with ones of those, and I would get them at market. And so it was never anything that I like spent time cutting. But if you've had them, like just little extras.
I have a couple, but I've kind of been
Yeah.
saving them to do snowball type things.
Yeah. But like,
But I do have
know,
some.
take some, that was always a really fun one because they could get a lot of color in it. And that's something too that they could put like 16 together and like it looks cute. It's just a little cute thing that they can
That's
do.
a good idea. Yeah.
So one of the other projects that Stephanie's talking, I'm thinking of, those alphabet pillows where you make the letter and then you sew the letter together, flip it inside out and stuff it.
Oh, the envelope ones?
Oh
wait, that one, I don't
so
know
you would
about
make-
what you're talking about.
yeah, so you would make an S, like a bubble S, and
Mhm.
you'd make two of them and then have them stitch it together inside out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then you just,
And then
then
turn
you
it
just flip-
inside out.
Yeah, yeah. That is fairly easy as well. I remember that was one of my first projects that my grandma worked with me when I was young. And then also a tooth pillow for the tooth fairy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that,
That's a good idea.
but you make a little pillow and then it has a little pocket on the front that you put the tooth in and you put it underneath your pillow
Genius.
for the tooth
I
fairy.
bet you the tooth fairy loves that.
Yes, the tooth fairy loves that.
The other
Very
thing,
easy to find the tooth.
this book came out several years ago. Oh, Donna's here. We can admit Donna.
Oh,
No.
Donna.
So it was, I may have 2 copies of it. I may be able to bring you one when I see you, but it's like an emoji pattern, an emoji quilt. And
Nice.
so we did a smiley face emoji and we did a poop emoji.
Hi, Donna.
And that was the best thing for her. Hi, Donna. Like she loved that project. That was something we did like just on a really cold day when she had no school one day. And that was one we did pretty early on, but mostly like beyond coming out with something that she can do in like 30-minute segments.
Yes. Yeah.
And it might be a little
Yeah.
longer. Angela can go for maybe about
Donna,
an
you're
hour
still
now.
muted.
But yeah, she can go for maybe about an hour when she's working on stuff. But when we first started, like 20, 30 minutes, that was good. And
Yeah, I always overestimate and then I underestimate what Hazel is able to do. It's funny because she's not me, but she is me in
Yeah.
so many ways. Like I swear her attention span's actually better than mine. And then it's really not. She's actually just me in child
but
again.
like think about what can you do ahead of time that either they can't do for safety reasons or they're going to be totally bored with, so that
Yeah.
they can
That's
jump in
true.
at the most interesting part of it and start with that. And talk about the 1/4-inch seam, but if they don't have it perfect, they don't have it perfect. Like that quilt that Angela made, her first couple were not good 1/4-inch seams, her first couple of rows. And when we got to the end, she had a really good 1/4-inch seam. And I said, Angela, you've gotten a lot better. Do you want to redo these? You would have to redo these ones here. They weren't so good. I'm like, it's up to you. And she had decided, yeah, I do want to redo them because she could see how much better it was.
Yeah.
And but like don't stress, like don't make her redo a seam as long as it's a closed seam.
Oh, right. As long as it's
you
okay
know?
with her. Like,
Yeah. As long as it's not going to fall apart, you're fine. And what else? And then if you put the speed control to like the middle,
Oh, that's a good idea.
I
that's
still
really
leave my
important.
speed control at the middle for the most part because
Yeah.
there is no reason I need to be booking it. And if I do, then I change it to book it.
Yeah. Well, and I typically sew on the book it speed. But knowing
I
for her
sew
to
on the
know,
turtle speed.
but for her to know like what
I'm the medium speed.
we have all the the bowls of porridge.
Mama bear,
on the
Papa
nest.
bear, and the
Yes.
just right, you know. in
The
between.
Yep.
snail speed.
But yeah, make sure she knows how to adjust that. So she's feeling like I'm going too fast.
Why am I trying to do this by eye when I know very well I have a threader?
This is a good question.
I've been
But,
using my other machine so much that I was like, oh, this having to thread my own
forget.
machine. I know, you really do.
And
I've been
then-
using my featherweight this week.
Think of ergonomics as well. So like when Angela first started, she needed to sit on a pillow so that she was up higher. And we also needed to get a step stool to put the pedal on so that she could
Really
reach
good
that
point.
too. Yeah.
I actually
And-
leave mine on a footstool, on a box. It's an old Coca-Cola box
Yeah.
for my my mid-arm because, you know, short kid here.
I mean, even last week when we were working on that doll dress, and even last week when we were doing that, we would do stuff for like maybe an hour at a time. Like we worked a little bit each
Oof.
night until it like had to be done that day. And she was super into it. But even then, I had to put her on or the foot pedal on a box so she could reach it. And she's like 4.5 feet now. So, you know, that lasts for a little while longer than you think.
Do you
And,
have a children's sewing machine?
No.
I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't? Because I
when-
did that. So I got her a children's sewing machine. So
When you
I still
go-
have
when you go to the lower level machines, they're going to have more problems fighting with the machine than they will just on their own. And I want the experience to be good. So like I got her a Baby Lock Jubilant that is her machine.
Oh, okay.
And I got it used. So it's not like a full price. But I
Right.
made sure to get her like the lowest, like that's what I sew on as that we had a couple of at the shop. Because it's a decent machine, but it's the lowest price of the decent machines that you can get. So
That makes
that's
sense.
kind of what we did for her. And then fabric, make sure that she's on board with the fabric that's being used.
I
That's
say
true.
let her
That's like
pick out the
100%
fabric.
that child too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
like take her shopping and let her pick out the fabric.
Oh,
like
she can
that,
shop in my room for all it's
Probably.
worth. I mean,
Yeah.
this is, yeah.
Yeah.
that too.
Just don't give her all the ugly crap that you don't want to use because she won't want to use it either.
To be
Like-
fair, I don't keep a lot of ugly crap, in my
This
opinion.
is true. But
I
for
do have a
anybody
little
watching-
pile I should show you guys. You were talking about your ugly fabric earlier. I have
for
this
anybody
one.
watching, don't that is definitely does not look like you. That's very,
No.
is it brown or dark green?
It's brown and dark brown.
It looks like mud.
It is something like
Is it
that.
like grunge? Looks like grunge a little bit.
No, it's just awful. It ombre's brown.
So what are you doing with it?
Nothing. Giving
But I
it to
mean-
my daughter to learn how to sew. No.
I was like, what are you?
Don't
so
do
what-
that.
So why do you have it? So
There's
right
this
now
one.
I'm still
It's
working
also
on my,
brown. This one's not as bad. I mean, this is the worst of the worst. This is the worst fabric in the room. It goes on
Is
the
that-
shelf of shame.
Is that like batik?
No, it's just bad. And there's nothing about it that makes it more special than another fabric. It's actually just that bad. That's just what it is.
Oh goodness.
well, I've actually
It is
I-
interesting. But
Um,
yeah, I mean, like if you're somebody, to anyone else watching at home, like if you are someone who loves like your Civil War reproduction, like do not make an 8-year-old sew with a Civil War reproduction.
Yeah.
Go,
Let
go
them pick like
yeah.
smiley faces and unicorns.
Well, that makes sense. Like when we were teaching this last week or whatever for the fiber camp or whatever, we had one kid that bless her little heart, she was just so her, but she wanted to make like the beige things and had this very like vibe that is not normal of a 8-year-old, but you could just imagine her
Mhm.
room was this very aesthetic beige. And she was very excited to take this stuff to her house and have it in her room. And it was everything I don't do, but can appreciate. But it was like if I had chosen for that kid, I would have chose so wrong,
Yeah.
Right.
you know. And she was adorable and really quite talented at everything she did, but it was just very beige. And I'm like, I don't do beige. You do beige great.
Yeah.
But somebody could probably, so the reason I have that brown fabric is because I have all of the intentions of trying some applique types that are more like natural. And I got it as part of a, you get so many yards of scrap, whatever, in various cuts. And I did get some very good stuff. And then I got that one. But I kept it because if ever I need brown, which you will need eventually in like a layered like collage type,
I
I actually
disagree.
have some brown.
Oh goodness.
It's my token brown piece of fabric. So
I am so not brown. I like
no,
my whole house used to be like earth tones
I did
because
just get a brown bed covering though, if you can believe that. I just got linen
brown what
sheets.
covering?
Bed
Really?
covering, like a bed quilt that's like a velvet, but it's more like that warm camel color, not like my
Yeah, that's
koozie
different.
here, brown. It has this, it's not a
I've been
chocolate, it's more of a caramely color, which is
I've been
shocking for
incorporating
me,
more
but
gold and like that's wild for me. Wild.
oh my God, what is wrong with my machine today? Just having a
But yeah,
hot moment.
I don't know. I feel like
You
it
know
takes
what?
time to develop your own personal color or whatever. Like I know like when I was young, we'd watch a lot of HGTV and
Oh
I
yeah.
did everything in my house earth tones, everything. And
You were supposed to.
I was supposed to, and I did it. And then I discovered that
I don't like
really,
them.
this is not really what I want in my life. And so I've been slowly banishing the beige. There's the hallway still beige, but
That's
that's an
okay.
intimidating thing to paint. My children need to not be around, and the dogs need to be like locked up somewhere,
You need more than a Saturday night, is what you're saying.
pretty much. Yeah. And that, we have to clean the floors first because dog hair and hallways and
Oh my gosh, I mopped the other day and it was like this nightmare situation because we've been putting in this pool. And so they've been uploading a lot of dirt and things like that. And then four dogs get in the dirt. You just add all of those things together and it was awful. It took me like 3 hours to get the floor clean enough to be able to mop. And not even 15 minutes later, Cubby comes into the house with black paws.
oh my gosh.
He went all the way to the creek by himself, and he knows he's not supposed to do that. He also knows he's my favorite, so he's not going to get in trouble like the right way. Oh,
I
Okay,
would
do you
be
want to
upset
see
too.
some of my stash that I bought?
yeah,
Oh, from
So for the
Lancaster?
retreat?
Yes.
absolutely.
This is
Did you buy
some.
that brown fabric too?
Which brown?
Is
I
your
brown?
The one
stripy
I-
fabric for your Halloween back?
Oh no. This is for binding.
Ah,
Oh, why is this
This
not
one-
working?
yeah.
This one is going to be the binding for that Halloween quilt. But look at this cool. I have never seen this before.
That's pretty.
That is cool.
I like
Isn't
that.
that neat?
Say it
What
again.
company did that one?
Oh,
I love it.
That's
It's
bizarre, but like
called-
in a cool way.
Hawkdale. It's Free Spirit.
Okay.
And it's the spirit to create Free Spirit Morris and Pure Morris.
I was
But-
thinking Morris.
But look,
What
I
I
just
thought.
think it is so cool. I've never seen. It reminds me kind of Dr. Seuss. I don't know why.
So
It
Morris and
reminds
Company
me of
is
a free
big in
spirit
like
fabric. I wondered.
Morris and
I
Company is
love-
big in like the wallpaper world. And that's
Okay, that makes
probably-
sense.
Yeah, that's
That makes
probably like
sense.
where it kind of came from.
And then here, let me get my other stack. And this is my. Now I got more than this. This was just the last shop that we went to.
Oh,
I know one
cool.
of those fabrics. I have it, I think. Oh no, it's not what I thought it was.
And then gnome Halloween.
Yes.
You'll be getting some of that.
I gotta work through all the ones with you. What's my deadline for you?
We don't have a deadline.
All right. Well, we need to have a deadline. You don't understand.
Well,
I'm a girl that takes
I would say we need to have a deadline like
August.
August
Something?
30th. August 30th.
I could do August 30th. Oh, I'll have you so many by August 30th.
But
You'll be
this one,
sick.
I love this one. This is like ombre, but it's mosaic. So it has like
Oh, I
dark.
can't see quite the color. Oh, there it goes.
It's dark, it's black, and then it goes to gray, and then it goes to light gray
Oh, that's fun.
and
Is that
lighter.
Northcott?
And
Deborah
lighter,
Evans
lighter.
Edwards?
Yes, this is Magnolia by Rachel Artdale of Northcutt.
I got the manufacturer right anyway.
I cannot wait to use this. I'm so excited about this mosaic.
What are you going to use it for?
I have no idea, but I'm gonna find it.
Candace says you found lots of cool fabric.
I did.
Yeah, you
She
did.
was with me most of the time.
Well, we need to talk to Candace. We need to find out.
I mean, she's
That-
on the Zoom, but she's not like, she doesn't have her video
Hmm.
up, which is fine. No one ever has
No,
to
that's
have the
totally
video on.
fine.
Yeah, I talked her to come in on
We
the
don't
Zoom.
bully.
I said, come. I said, you don't have to be on your video if you don't want. She
We
might
want
be
to
in bed.
know.
It's just if it's close to midnight and we don't recognize your name, we'll ask you quilting questions to prove you're a quilter.
And I did think this
That's
one
all.
was neat. It's like Damask kind of, but look, it's got dinosaurs.
Oh my gosh.
That's interesting.
That's
So
phenomenal.
guess who's getting a coffin hexie of that?
Yes. I like the way this is looking for me right now.
I know. You're gonna just have a treasure box of awesomeness.
And then I'm going to have it together in like a month. And you're going to be like, how the heck did you do that? And you'll be like, I didn't
And-
do anything else for an entire month. I'm getting a divorce.
Don't do that. We need you to be happily married.
It's going
Okay,
to take
yes, I
me
know, but,
longer
you
than a
know.
month to sew mine.
Oh, I know. I keep these things alive. Although there are definitely people that go even faster, a lot faster than me. I give up on some projects every now and then.
I counted up, it takes me about 20 to 25 minutes to go around an entire one of these. I've been doing this the
Ooh.
entire time we've been on, and I'm probably going to have 6 done. And I think I've got about 50 hours in just stitching threads around the sides of these things.
Oh my gosh.
All right, here's a couple patterns I bought. So I bought this pattern for this jacket. I'm gonna make that for my mom.
Oh, that's
That's
cute.
cute.
And then I thought this was the cutest little thread catcher. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure the next retreat, I'm going to be like making one of these for somebody special. But it's got like a little
Aw.
bag, and then it's got the little flower pin cushion on top. So you can see the bag. But see how it's puffy?
Oh yeah.
I've never seen one like that before. Here, I can
That
take
is
it out.
cute.
The glare I could take it out of the baggie. And I got a cat quilt, but I have to go hunt that pattern down. See?
Oh, they're like pod with the
Yeah.
pin cushion. That's cute.
I thought that they were super cute. I am sucker for a good pin cushion, and I love a good thread catcher. So, or
I've
garbage.
actually
bin,
never
whatever.
made a pin cushion.
Oh, I
I've
love
been
them.
True
gifted one.
story.
But I've never made one either.
All right, we got time. I'm gonna run back and get some more of my loot to
Yeah, we
show
have a
you.
little bit.
Do
Ooh, I
it.
have something.
We haven't even shown
to
all
share.
our loot from our trip.
No, I haven't. It's still in a suitcase. I told my daughter to use my suitcase, the workhorse suitcase.
You need to get it out and show it.
It's gonna happen. I
happen.
have all my overhead camera was at the garden center. It spent like a month there in this like studio area that they have. And I have it home and I had to film on location the last 2 weeks. And I don't have to for a while now. So everything's gonna get set back up and I am actually filming on Sunday. So
I
That'll be
thought
exciting.
that I had that same pattern. And look, y'all, I got to move my little thing so you can see it. Look, it's the exact same pattern she just showed.
oh
I
good.
I picked this one up at my last quilt retreat. It
The
was free.
Abby bag.
It was free. And I thought, oh, isn't that cute? And
You
then
two
you
need to do
saw
it so long.
You showed
with
it,
each
and I was
other.
like, I think that I just picked that up. Yep, Abby Lane quilts.
Yep, you
Little-
and Gwendolyn
I guess it's
so
supposed
along.
to be like little flowers or whatever. One is never enough.
Never.
A
That's
lot of
cute.
lot of fabric in that though. If you think about
Sometimes
it,
I think I have a hobby of just having patterns. I just like to have them on hand in case I decide to use them. It's like the
you
daytime
should have
of having
seen
them.
My
We all have
child going through my
memories.
binders.
But here's some other
of
free ones
doll
I
quilts.
picked up. Look at this one. Let's see, which way do I need to go?
Oh, perfect.
There
Yeah.
you go. Little puppies
Cute.
and and
That
then
is
this
adorable.
one. And this is a chicken and it looks so real. Look at him.
Weird. That's great.
But I was like, oh, I think I want to make that. Rhode
I love
Island red. It's called Rhode Island red hen, life size.
Interesting.
It's
Life
life size.
size. It's like
I have a
like
big,
that.
big old chicken I'm gonna make. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I saw that pattern. I was like, I just got that back in
That's
May.
funny.
That's funny.
All right, when Gwendolyn comes back, when she shows off her goodies,
Uh-huh.
I am gonna have to call night because my child is still awake.
Oh my goodness.
She's sitting on the couch.
She is
Well, I
determined.
was surprised y'all were still here. I totally forgot about it.
It's all
Oh
good.
no, it's okay. We were excited when we saw you were coming in.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's a commoner. I know you. We had somebody try to join, but they didn't know the answer to the question, we assume, because they left immediately.
They did.
They failed the secret answer.
Yeah,
It
they did
was
not
a
know
very
the secret.
obvious answer
Okay,
to anyone who's actually a quilter. Oh,
Cute.
that's fun.
it's a cutting or not cutting board. It's an ironing board.
Okay, that's really cute.
Isn't that cute? With the buttons. Oh, I thought it was so
That's
cute.
how I have all my look, little jar of
And so-
buttons. I was just fixing costumes for a local costume place, like a local theater place.
I was gonna see if I could find the. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here's the ugly.
Oh, is it uglier than what I had?
Oh goodness, tarantulas.
Let's see it. Say something.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
to talk.
Can you see me? Can you see the tarantulas?
Oh
The
my gosh, I
tarantulas.
don't think it's that ugly. I think it's kind of funny, cute.
Oh,
Good thing I'm getting some.
ugly. Ugly. And
So,
then
Gwendolyn, did you see that I had the same pattern as you?
did
I got it.
seriously?
I got it. I picked it up. We had a free table at our last retreat back in May, and you showed that, and I was like, I think I picked that up, and went and looked. Sure enough, I have the exact same pattern. But I'm looking at it thinking
$10 for mine.
it takes a lot of fabric though. It says
It
a charm
does.
pack. A
Yeah.
charm pack are 8 5x5 pieces, 3 fat quarters, a 30-yard for lining, a 30-yard fusible fleece. Oh, a button and then 2 cups filling. That's not big. I get
Great
my
frontal.
walnut stuff at the pet store. It's just
Oh
lizard
my
litter.
gosh.
That's
A
cute.
little bit of sweet water.
Is that true? It's just lizard litter?
Yeah, don't buy the crushed walnuts from a quilting store. You won't even get a very big bag for $8. You can get a big, huge bag of lizard litter from the pet store. It's the exact same thing, and it's like $11 for a big, huge bag.
You said
Okay,
that
so whoever
last.
was saying that we weren't talking enough quilting stuff, that's the secret right there. That was the
Yeah.
secret of the entire thing. You had to listen to
It's-
the end to find out that it was the lizard litter.
Yeah.
It's the
yeah,
same deal with
Donna,
quilt
you
sew.
had said that a couple weeks ago, and I thought to myself, that is an awesome tip because I never thought to look there for sure.
For what? The lizard.
I had never thought, yeah, that's an
Yeah.
awesome tip.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing with quilt sew. All it is Orvis paste. You can get it by the gallon at Farm and Fleet. For
What is
like
it?
Orvis paste.
Yeah, I
Oh,
use
you can-
that.
What's the Orvis?
It's
paste?
horse shampoo,
Yeah,
and you can
I
get
use
it by
it
the
on my
gallon at Farm and
horses.
Fleet.
I
Yeah.
use it on my horses, my dogs too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. It lathers up. It's really a rich, creamy leather, and it cleans. Yeah, it makes them so like when you run your hands over them, it kind of skips, right? Because it's so squeaky clean.
Mhm. But
I
that's
think
what
people use it
that's
for
what quilt
cows.
soap is.
I
and
think people
that's-
use it for cows too.
Really?
Yeah, I
But
think
that's all quilt soap is, and that's what the conservators use in like professional textile cleaning.
Is horse
just hor-
soap.
Yep, Orvis paste. It's very
Yeah,
gentle.
just get it at a farm supply. I get it mine like at Tractor Supply.
Yep, Tractor Supply, Farm and Fleet,
Love that.
Tyson's. They all have it.
Gotta write it on our notes, Chantel.
I don't know. I'm just gonna have to ask the
Learning
next time,
new things.
or be surprised again. That's always fun.
Okay, and so I got this fish
Cute.
fabric. I got this $5 a yard.
Well, that's
Oh,
cute.
you know, I
I
bet
couldn't
Theron will
believe
love
it.
that.
Yes, this is going on the back of his, guess what? Fish quilt.
Fish.
Fish. Fish.
He's
That's
fish.
funny.
He's fishes.
He loves
He
his
says
fish.
fish.
I have a mobile, a fish mobile that actually we got for my daughter when she was young. It's right above my pad. I'm going to show you my ceiling so you can see it.
Oh,
Oh, that's adorable.
And it see how it's like painted, like the different fish
Mhm.
are
Mhm.
painted and whatnot. Well, I keep it out here because when he was a baby, we had a mini crib out here in the living area for him, and I had that mobile above his little crib, and you know the crib's way gone, but he loves it. He just loves the mobile. He loves to look at it. He loves to point at it. He tries to climb the couch and touch it. You know, all the things.
Has
So
he
it's
had
kinda
your
neat.
hairbrush in it?
Oh, we found my hairbrush. I'm not kidding.
What?
Where was it?
Yes.
Your daughter got married, you went on a retreat, and you found the hairbrush.
Yes. And Theron got his diagnosis. So I mean it
Oh
was
my
just like
god!
it was like a great week and a half. I mean, it was crazy. Yes. So he had hidden it in my luggage, my empty luggage in my closet.
No.
Stuffed it in the little duffel bags because you know I have like the suitcase and then I have the smaller suitcase and then I have the duffel bag that's on top. Yes, he had
Yeah.
hidden it in the duffel bag. So when I went to pack all my stuff in the duffel bag, there it was.
How did
in
I
the
not
bottom.
get a message about this or something? That's insane.
I know. I should have. I should have messaged
You were
you.
saving it. Oh
I
my
think I
gosh.
was. I think I was saving it. But yes, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh yes, the hunt for the hairbrush is over." But my husband goes, he goes, "All that money on that other hairbrush," and I go, "That's
And all
okay."
the trouble of ordering the new one and then finding out that sucked.
I
And
We knew that was going to happen, right? But
ah,
so what
course.
I've done is I've put the one away in safe keeping, and the other one will be out. You know, so that way we don't have to worry about it.
That's good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I was just flabbergasted that that's where he had hidden it.
It's always weird
That's
places.
awesome.
Lily did that with
Funny.
my wallet once. I found it like later in the bottom of a.
Did you have your IDs in it?
Oh yeah, all my
Oh,
business
my.
credit cards and personal credit cards. It took me an entire morning to cancel and get everything situated.
Here's some of the other fabrics from the of course, Sweetwater. Love some Sweetwater.
Nice.
And then some beehives. Those are bumblebees, stripes, some paisley.
I've never been able to get on board with paisley.
And I
I-
love this.
I know
I
people
love a
love it,
quilting paisley.
but I am not
think
one of them.
this is one of my favorite fabric finds. I don't know why, but I just love it. It's this limoncello citrus fabric, and it's words.
Oh, the limoncello stuff. Yeah.
Yes, but it's limoncello because it's green, so it's lime.
Oh, I get you now.
But I think that is really cool.
All right, so here's a quick update. Let's see. You can
Oh
see
yeah,
my-
show us.
There they are in the
Ooh.
background.
You could
I have
Oh.
9. I got 9 of my little log cabins made.
How'd your 9 patch go?
The 9 patches all together. I found out I'm supposed to, if I want to, go ahead and just quilt it and bind it and then turn it in.
How are you going to use your log cabins, Donna?
They are going to be put together. Let me show you. So it was an ugly quilt challenge from my quilt guild. They gave us a yard of the pineapple fabric, which was that green.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put it together like this. I used the Active Quilt to cut it.
Oh, cute.
Oops, let's see. I
Yeah.
don't know if you can see that.
That
I
would be
like
nice.
fun.
that pattern.
So I'm just going to put it together like that. But it's an ugly quilt challenge. We paid $5 and turned in like a notion. And then they're going to have, the people that come to our guild meeting in July will vote on the ones that, did the challenge. And whoever wins gets all the notions.
That's cool.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was just something fun. So this quilt shop is in Blanco, Texas. And probably for 3 or 4 years now, they have 2 shop hops a year. And the first year that I did it, it was panels, and they had, I don't know, 4 or 5 different panels, and they called them ugly panels. And it was just panels that hadn't sold well, right? So you paid $3, you got a panel, you took it home, you made a quilt out of it. You had to use like a certain percentage of it, right? Like it had to be pretty dominant
Sure.
in the quilt that you could see it. Of course, it was a panel. The first one was a panel, so that was very obvious or whatever. But and then, so that was in the spring. You picked it up, and you turned it back in, like in September, for the October shop hop. And all the people that came to the shop hop voted. Like they had everything hanging up in the shop. All these quilts, like 20 or 30 of them, right? And they just had a number on them, and you would vote for your number. And then oh man, I mean, I wasn't going to win or anything, but it was just fun to do, right? But you wouldn't believe like the creativity of some of the people. But then they changed it from panels to fabric. So then you would get a yard of fabric, just some fabric they had certain ones picked out that you could purchase for $3 or $5. I can't remember. It started out as $3. It may have went to $5 now. But anyway, you just pick it up in the spring, and then you take it home and make something and bring it back in September, and then they hang it in October for their shop hop.
That's
So it's
fun.
it's
fun.
just fun. It's
I
fun to
had
see what everybody makes, with it. And none
I
of them
had a
are.
buddy that was supposed to use that Tulip Pink, the eyeball fabric, and the goal was everybody got a little bit of that fabric, and the goal was to hide the eyeball or disguise the eyeball in
Oh
some
my
way.
goodness! Oh,
And
that would be fun.
Yeah, and so she actually sewed the eyeball shut and used it as like a winking eye. It was so funny.
That's
Nice.
funny.
Did such a good job. It was like, oh my God, I don't know if she won or she should have won. I mean, that was like, she's like, can you find it? I was like, no, like,
Yeah,
this
I
thing
think
has
all
an
of these.
eye, but clearly it's not that. It totally,
Yeah.
well done.
All right, ladies.
The Blinko one had to be at least 40 inches or whatever, but a lot of people made, like big quilts or whatever, but some people made table toppers or whatever.
Do you
All
have
right,
to go, Steph? I think
I
you're in
do.
charge of it all. So if you have to
I
go,
am.
we have to go.
I have to go because I have a 4-year-old who's still up and I have a 6-hour drive tomorrow. So,
Ugh,
and I have to do all
yucky.
of it because I'm the only adult in the car. So,
All right. Well, it's all been fun. I'm glad to see everybody's updates and stuff like
yes,
that.
we'll be
Oh, I
back.
just noticed your
next
your
week.
chair, Chantel. What kind of chair do you have?
Oh, I
Your
have a
chair.
bungee chair, a rainbow bungee chair.
Rainbow bungee chair, and you like it.
I
Somebody-
do. It doesn't have arms. Here you go.
Yeah. Someone had one. They brought it to. We had a legit kit class from our
Yeah.
guild, on Tuesday, and somebody brought their own chair, and that's what they had. Theirs wasn't
Yeah.
a rainbow. Theirs was not as cool as yours. but
I
it
know
was-
mine had to be a rainbow. That was like a required, but I found that I'm too short for arms on chairs anyways. And as I've used this one, it's
I don't
broken
want
a little
arms.
bit. At first it was rigid and it was not good.
Yeah, I don't like arms on my chairs because then they hit my sewing machine
Yeah,
cabinet. or my
exactly. So
desk or
you
whatever. It's like, I
almost
don't want 'em.
you needed to not have arms on it to begin with. But yeah, I love
Or
this
have 'em
chair
adju-
from
Or have the arms adjustable high enough, that it'll go up over your.
yeah, it's just like it never works out right.
No.
So
no.
I had a stool
one.
for the longest time. I like having a stool, but this one works pretty well.
All right.
Not
Well,
disappointed.
that is our final tangent of the evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will be back next week.
Drive
Bye.
safe,
All right.
Steph.
Bye,
Call
everyone.
me tomorrow
Bye,
on that
everyone.
drive.
It's a long one. I'll call you.
And
All
bye.
right, bye.